Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of
What's the crack? It's your boy Teriyaki. Back out of the den again. Oh my god, we already fucked up. Holy shit. I even double checked to make sure I didn't even mute myself as well for the double fuck up. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, folks. So let's make sure I get the panels all ready. Like I said, folks, just do a quick introduction. Like I said, I hope you've had a good time over the Easies. Because like I said, I love the format of that show. But real quick, just to explain the moves for everybody, we have a special menu for the Wheel of Madness, of course. We have a wheel that operates that at any time the wheel spins, the topic gets changed. And we get a fresh topic. That's $10 if you want to do it from chat. If you use the Ko-Fi or the PayPal, it's 50% extra, but we'll get to those links in a minute. The theme we're starting with tonight is religion. Like I said, I want to make sure that we get like perfect each kind of like different wing of it. So we're with religion. If you want to change that theme, which means like change out that wheel from religion to maybe something like philosophy or something else, we have a list of other topics as well. We got the pop culture. That's kind of like the easy topics, a bit like with the dating as well. Whereas like the philosophy and politics is more on the difficult end. Or particular end, I should say, and like I said, we're right in the middle. We're going with religion this week or with this episode, and then, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a particular prompt that comes up that you really are passionate about, you really enjoy, you can lock the wheel for $50, which means it'll take another $50 for the wheel to be able to be spun. Okay, and that can be a collective effort, of course, and all the stuff. Because, like I said, we always want to make sure the chat always wins. And also we have like the standard menus as well. So if you want a meme clip to be played, they'll be played throughout the show. It's $5. If you want a specific topic or prompt, it's $20. If you want a particular song to be read out, perhaps in maybe a funny accent by yours truly, it's also $20. And like I said, the open panel we can ignore. If there's a particular guest that comes on, because it is open panel, the link is pinned in chat. If there's any particular panelists that you don't like and want to send backstage, 5 minutes is $5. So $1 a minute, but minimum $5. And then if there's a particular panelist you want to say, nah, I want them off completely, it's $100. Say, come back tomorrow. Okay. And then finally, with the PayPal and Ko-Fi, those links are also pinned. You get 50% more value for your money if you use the PayPal or the Ko-Fi. Other than that, like I said, just to remind everybody about the grift break, it basically is on each hour. Let me set the goal now. So it's $2 super chats, or you can, if you want to cut straight to the source, you can just do 20 through the Ko-Fi at any moment, and that basically prevents the grift break. Plus premium meme. And you get a premium meme as well if we hit the YouTube one. Just as a little extra incentive, as they say, folks. But without further ado, as they say, let's start the motherfucking show.
Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Man, we got a damn good show for y'all today, man. Damn good show. I think this is going to be one of the best. We got one hell of a show for y'all today, man. Got a good show. We got a good show for y'all today, man. We got a damn good show. Man, we got a damn good show for y'all, man. Good show. We got a damn good show for y'all today, man. We got a damn good show. A damn good show.
A damn good show. You know what I'm saying? Because as you might have noticed, it's President Week. So we gotta have El Presidente colors on the wheel. Like I said, you might have noticed the new thumbnail and everything. Like I said, you know, William comes up with spicy ideas. He goes, Teriak, what about for like, you know, the President's Day? Should we do a bit of something special? A little something? You know what I mean? So we gotta go all out, of course. You know what I'm saying? And without further ado as well, we already have a guest backstage. Let me introduce him.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.?
Mr. Halfa Gaming, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Teriak?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good.
You're supposed to say, shut your mouth, white boy, and spin that motherfucking wheel. That's what you're supposed to say. Gotta spin that wheel, gotta get the prompts going. So like I said, we're starting with religion. If you don't want the religion, 25, and we can change it out to whatever you'd like. But Halfwood, was the world made in literally 6 days?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, according to the biblical terminology of it, I'm kind of a science man, so it's kind of hard to say. I haven't really done a lot of studying on the whole theory of it being made in 6 days.
Well, hold up one sec. First of all, we got a Rob raid and we got an easy raid, so I gotta play the clips. So welcome in everybody from the raid, and of course, because it's easy, of course.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Welcome in everybody. Like I was saying, this is the Wheel of Madness. You might notice the moves scrolling below. Like I say, if you want to spin the wheel, if you don't like the current topic, which is the topic on screen, you can spin the wheel for $10. If you want to change it to theme, the current theme is religion. $25, and we have philosophies, we got politics, we got dating, we got pop culture. Take your pick. The pick is yours, as they say. At the moment, we're talking about specifically in terms of was the world created in literal 6 days?
Yeah, I feel like I need someone else.
You were sweating.
Yeah, because I need someone else's perspective on it, to be honest, because like biblically I could see that being so, but then scientifically it's kind of hard for me to see that being so. Even though science does work with religion in a certain sense on certain things, well, religion works with science on certain things, vice versa, but
well,
you know, it's possible.
Not all Christians believe in it, but just real quick, I need to answer the door so you can keep spitballing. 1 sec.
I was about to say, I think it's kind of like a theory in itself. Like it's something that humans can have a theory about, but it's like, you know, it's kind of like how we have a theory or a pinpoint on like the existence of where the universe started. You know, I can't guarantee that that's an exact reading of when the universe started, but based on mathematical readings of what I've read up, that's basically how they got that. But I still think it could be off. So the thing with the 6 days, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, like, to be able to provide evidence or even replicate it is a little difficult. Unless we could try and replicate it on some type of moon or replicate it on Mars, or even, well, that really wouldn't make any sense, terraforming it. But I'm saying, like, trying to create a planet the way a planet is created and then see how many days it literally takes, or observe a planet. I'm not really sure. because like in the sense of time being different to God compared to us, I could see it that way. It's kind of like the whole thing about you know, fucking Noah and a lot of people in the Bible being like what, like 900 or 600 years old and stuff like that. I feel like being in that time era, they didn't have like a basis on time, so that like I feel like it was more like based on months, so they were a lot younger than 900 and 800. So I feel like the same thing would go into the Earth being made in 6 days. At least that's my take on it.
Well, I'm pretty sure like not all Christians believe that it was like created in 6 days, but in terms of like drilling down to what you mean in terms specifically of like okay, what do we mean by like the 6 literal days? Because are we coming from the perspective of God, or we're coming from the perspective of the people? But I'm pretty sure like there would be like people who take every single word of it as literal, and like that's where I
Yeah.
kind
Oh
of
yeah.
said
Yeah.
that's
No.
the interesting line where it's like okay, how much are you taking literal versus metaphorical?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the Bible is metaphorically speaking, as in there's a certain way that you need to wrap your mind around it, and it's not 100% always literal with the things it's talking about. It uses the metaphor to represent something literal, but it's not, the metaphor itself isn't trying to be literal. So that's, I mean, like for instance, like let's say what we perceive a day as the, you know, the revolving of the sun and the earth, moon, by all that shit. For God, like a day would be a completely different, I don't know, scheduling of time. Like if you're on a spaceship, how would you be able to tell what day it is without a clock? Like that's basically the thing I'm getting at. Like, how would you be able to tell time without a sequence to tell you what time is?
But what is time? Not to go too
Well,
cliche, but
I mean, to me, it would be a mathematical sequence that's never ending, an infinite mathematical sequence that starts with a beginning number, which, believe it or not, would have to be one. I still consider zero a number, but then, well, I'd still consider zero being a number. I guess it would consider with zero, since I don't know. I think what scientists say that the universe is like we're at like a quarter of the universe is, we're a quarter of the way through the universe in the aspect of time. And the way that they measured that was how galaxies are separating from each other slowly. But like I said, that could be completely off. Just straight ahead.
sorry, one sec, because Grok's loading up.
Yeah, but basically what I've read is, you know, that it was made in 6 days in the biblical metaphorical terminology. And I mean, that's basically how I see it. And I could believe it that way in the sense that God sees time differently than we do. That's the only way I would be able to believe it. As the same thing, like with, you know, Abraham being an age that we humans today would not be able to reach without futuristic technology. I feel like their timing of what a year was completely different. Because I think I did the math on it. And if you schedule it by months, if you schedule it by months, and you break it down and divide the time of his exact year that's predicted biblically, it would show that he's actually like 125, which that could actually make sense. I could see an average human reaching 125, even in old day biblical times with absolutely little to no technology.
Well, Grok's saying no, not all Christians believe the world was created in 6 literal days. Christian interpretations, though, interpretations of creation account in Genesis 1 very widely, reflecting differences in how the biblical text is read in light of theology, science, history, etc., etc. These views have been debated for centuries within the church, and while some hold to a strict literal reading, others see the days as figurative, symbolic, or representative of longer periods.
Is it Old Testament or New Testament? That's the part I'm stuck on.
The Old Testament, Genesis. Genesis.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So like, just a lot of stuff like, and I like the Old Testament compared to the New Testament. I like the New Testament, but the Old Testament just has some stuff that just, I feel like it has gotten reworked, but just some stuff about the Old Testament just appeals to me more. Yeah, I guess I would have to say that it would be metaphorically written, and that time is different. Or at least that's how I would see it. And I don't think all Christians believe that. I'm not even sure if all Christians believe that the Earth is only 10,000 years old.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing where it's like there's the 6 days and then there's like the 6,000 years, something like that. Well, that could be Mormon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but like, could 6,000 years to us be 6 days to God? Like, that's basically what I'm trying to get to. Like, although I don't really see it in the Mormon sense, because I have went to a Mormon church. I've talked to Mormons. At the same time, I was talking to Christians. They gave me a Mormon freaking Bible and all that stuff. And honestly, I couldn't get into it because it's I'm a logical thinking person, and it's not that they don't have a logic to it. It's just my brain cannot reach the amount of contradictions that follow. But yeah, so I would say I feel like if humans could probably replicate it, which would have to be at least a good couple hundred years in the future to be able to replicate building a planet. Because I'm not saying conspiracy theory wise, but I could see like us using up all the resources on Earth eventually.
Like that's why like Elon's like we need to become multiplanetary, But it's particularly the young Earth creationists. But like this is common among certain evangelical fundamentalist and conservative Protestant groups. But it's a minority when comparing Catholics and Orthodox as well.
Sorry about that. I had already it was going off. But yeah, no, like wait, what else did it say? Terry?
Yeah, I was on mute. So it's like basically give me a list of like the prominent ones that like preach about and all this kind of shit, but like I want to know like the actual evidence for it, other than it's just written in the scriptures.
I mean, that's kind of that's all I've gotten on it. Like, I don't know anything else on it, like scientifically, that there's a possibility. Like that would give you like even more like evidence than just like biblically, because that's the only way I can find it is biblically. I mean, I can't look at it now because all I got is my phone and I'm at work. But if I was at home and I had my computer, I'd be able to multitask it.
That's why we got Grok, baby.
Yeah, which I think I use Meta AI. I don't really use. I don't really like using AI that much for my information, just because I feel like a lot of it is like. I guess some of it is real information, and some of it I feel like is just dead information. Like it's information that hasn't been edited or is not necessarily false or was true at one point, but it's false now. Like I don't know. Something about AI. I don't know. guess it gives you the quick answers versus a dictionary.
So it's saying that literal days, because it says the word days, or the Hebrew word for days, yom. Um,
But how did they calculate it?
genealogies provide chronology. And that's where they get
The
6,000
real
years.
question is, how did they calculate it? When did they start calculating the 24 hours in a day? I was stumped on this about the whole thing
that's in
about
Enoch.
Enoch. Okay, then that might actually add up then, because I'm still stumped about why my 100 times telescope can't see Mars, but fucking Galileo's 30 times telescope can. I'm baffled. I'm baffled about how that's even a thing.
Because they're saying,
I gotta have.
I'm kind of sorry, like I said, kind of
Say what?
split focus, like trying to read and then kind of like do the devil's advocate and trying to explain these arguments. But the base saying is like, because of the flood, because of the youngest dryas, like the scientists say there was a flood, like, or confirmed that backs up their whole thing. If it was created in 6 days and it's about 6,000 years old. But William says, one sec, 'cause I know he wants this one.
Shut up, bitch!
Shut the fuck up and spin that wheel!
Spin it! Spin it! Spin it! Wow!
Yeah, I'd have to look more into that one for the next time. I will guess. Are you muted?
Ah, shit, I was muted. How fun is there life after death?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I feel like there is, but I feel like it's so complex for humans to even understand. Like, whether you want to call it a heaven or not, like even reincarnating or restarting your life, for instance, like let's say you live up to an old age and then you pass away, and then like we still can't calculate the chances that you either go to a mysterious place that's similar to heaven of your own desire, or of God's creation, or even what is it, purgatory, where there's absolutely nothing of your desire, or even nothing of your own thought process even exists there, other than that you're just there. Uh, that's also in speculation. But the one that intrigues me the most is if you die, your life completely restarts, and being that your brain and physical body don't really move with your spirit, your soul. I feel like that is the one thing that attaches us to every other universe, possibly. And that's just a theory. It's not something I necessarily believe, because the whole multi-universe theory is possible in my eyes, in the sense that I feel like it's not a timeline. It's more of like a circle. That time is more like a circle, but it's bent like in the shape of an infinite sign. And when that infinite sign meets that X mark in the center at a certain point, when time is created, it basically, it restarts. The Big Bang is the Big Crunch, and the Big Crunch creates the Big Bang, like vice versa. And that's how the universe keeps infinitely creating itself, just long spans of time. It's just hard for humans to even explain such a thing. But I would have to say, yeah. I would have to say, yeah, there is definitely life after death. It's just humans can't really explain it. And if there isn't life after death, then I would have more questions about then where are all these souls coming from? Because I feel like souls would have to cycle. I feel like eventually, like even if it was infinite, eventually the same soul would still have to be used in an infinite cycle, just like numbers. You'll see the same number in an infinite cycle. Like for instance, pi. You'll see the same numbers over and over again in pi. But that's my theory.
Well, when you were saying like, like you were saying like purgatory, heaven, and hell exist, but then there's also like this always is it like keeps repeating, like it's like a circle, like you were saying.
Well, yeah, these are theories. These are theories. Like even the whole heaven and hell thing to me is a theory. I mean, there's biblical terminology that gives you evidence of it, but there isn't really any physical manifestation of it, or even really much of. You never really seen a human ever say, "I came back and I didn't see the light. I saw burning flames of hell, and I saw the devil." I've heard people say stuff like that, but it's hard to truly take them for their word in the sense of your mind can still play tricks on you, because I see it as your brain is an infinite maze, and you have to learn how to fucking survive in your mind, because people let their mind corrupt them, and that's kind of where morals take place, and at least in the eyes of God, at least I see. But yeah, no, like the whole thing about time restarting is like when like scientists say that we're like a quarter of the way through in time. So if I pinpointed that on my diagram that I've made in the past about basically the time circle that's folded into an infinite sign, when it reaches the certain point of the actual end time, which is actually the restart of time, because it would have to take something as catastrophic as the collapse of the universe to create a universe. At least that's how I would have to see it, because how else would something continuously go on? Because the universe is infinitely spanning, and the only way we were able to tell that is how galaxies are slowly stretching from themselves, and the farther they stretch, the colder the universe entirely becomes the farther they stretch, meaning the closer they were before the beginning of time and Earth was even created, the universe was extremely fucking hot as plasma, to where no life could even exist. So the universe had to stretch out to even create life. And I kind of see it as it reaches a certain time limit. And I feel like there's just certain things that reach that end goal for time to restart. And I don't think humans can really categorize what that is. I have a couple of theories, but they sound outlandish.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Just with a madness, baby.
Okay, so one of the theories I have about how time can restart is basically a God versus God theory. And that would basically be humans creating something similar or close to godlike, which sounds impossible and ridiculous even saying it. But let's take AI, for instance. If humans create AI and make it where it's completely all-knowing of itself and knowing of everything around it, and was able to move around in a automatronic form like humans, it would be able to keep on replicating and continue infinitely by materializing every single planet. Humans can end up dying out and AI will continue. AI would eventually get that mindset through humans that there is a creator beyond humans that created humans and everything in life, that would lead it to find, it wants to find its true creator. Even though humans are its creator, it's going to get this some idea to want to find the true creator of the universe. And I feel like AI would get to that point. And it would stretch itself out through radio waves and such throughout the entire universe till it finally reaches that end gap where it can get outside the universe, if it's possible, and actually completely clash with God, which would cause the entire crunch restart of the universe. And a lot of people would say, well, then who would win in that fight? Well, obviously God would win in that fight. Obviously, that's why it would restart, because two godlike things colliding just seems like, but like, again, it's just an outlandish theory. Because I used to be an atheist. I used to like write about crazy shit like this.
But one thing that you kind of referenced about with the purgatory thing is that it's like when you were saying you. If we're saying, or well, people say this, not just you. I mean, like the royal you, like you're in purgatory. Like, what does that mean? Like you are in purgatory? Because if you are not in purgatory, you don't have like physical pain, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. So you wouldn't have physical pain. You wouldn't have emotional pain as well. You wouldn't have any of that. It would, to basically put it, is you would basically be in an open. I presume that they say it's a completely white, bright, absolutely nothing exists type area, and your complete vision would be like third person with no physical attributes whatsoever.
So no
And
physical
basically,
pain though.
yeah, no physical pain. I believe there has been said that there is physical pain in purgatory, but I don't know. Like saying that your soul or spirit would go there as well as your physical body just doesn't make sense. But then again, maybe there's a certain pain that the spirit and the soul could feel separate from the body when it's not away from it, and that's something we can't completely resonate with. That's the only way I could see that. But like I said, that's the only way I could see where purgatory could actually be an actual theory where it's possible for everyone in existence to end up in purgatory and not even see each other or know each other or even know that they're even there or even in purgatory. They would just know that they exist simply through that third person vision. They just wouldn't know anything other than that they are there and that is it. Like that's as complex as a human could basically explain it. Or I could probably explain it further and more complex, but that's as complex as I could kind of explain it now.
But like this is to me where it's like there has to be something in terms of like, because like when we're saying like afterlife or like even just life in general, like are we talking like purely physical?
Well, I mean, even then, I mean, possibly it could be. I mean, what would it be in terms of physical, like, for instance, like a dream? Like, if you were to die, would you just be stuck in a dream loop of what your reality was presumably be? But a lot of people would say no because your brain's dead, so that would no longer be able to be an option because your brain has to create those thoughts. But no human has yet to be able to prove such a thing, because that would actually prove there's an afterlife. But yeah, I would say in those two theories are outlandish. But like I said, anything is possible. It's just so complex and out of human reach. And I feel like the Bible is the key, or a lot of biblical scripture, not just the Bible, but is the key to understanding not just God, but the entire universe in itself. It's just written metaphorically and out of the complex regions for humans to understand. Because if it was written so basic, that would be too easy. Because I would also see that as the theory, like that's kind of why Atlantis probably doesn't exist, whether it was a catastrophic disaster or them just finding the overwhelming amount of knowledge they shouldn't have found. That's basically how I would see it.
I'm trying to think of like what like on the same line of like what's the best way to explain it. I know Dave and Chaz saying God, but like it's like yes, but it's in terms of to give like what sort of image does the afterlife look like?
Yeah. Well, I can see it in the perspective biblically through the eyes of God and what God wants us to see it as, but we're trying to look at it in the perspective other than just the way God could possibly see it as for us. Like it's not ruling out the possibility that it's what God says, but that's why it's theories and speculations. Like I feel like it's okay to question things. I don't think God has anything about questioning things. I feel like that's why he finds the most intrigueness in the human species, because we're very curious creatures.
Because like it's not even necessarily like from like what God said or what it said in terms of the Bible. But like I'd often get there in terms of the just through logic alone. Like when we say you, when we say me, when we say they, like it's not just physical.
Well, I mean, I also
There's
see it in
something
another
else.
theory. I see it in another theory because of, I mean, I'm not sure if this is my own hypothesis take. I'm not sure if I got it from Wes Huff or I don't know. But basically, like God hell was never meant for a human to go, in the sense that I don't really think, even if you send to the highest category, I don't think, I'm not sure if you're gonna go to hell. Like I literally feel like all souls and spirits go back to God, and God is that heaven. His entire being and outside of space and time is that heaven, and the representation is hell is to give you the incentive not to do bad things. Or there's a small gap in the time to where your spirit and soul does go to heaven, back to God, but it experiences the type of pain that the human physical form can't feel for your punishments of what you've done for sin. That's the only way I can categorize that. But I feel like the way where God says that humans don't belong in hell, and they were never intended to go, makes me feel like I don't think any human actually ever goes to this place. I feel like it's beyond our reach, even spiritually. I feel like simply because we're all children of God.
It's a hot take to say that even if you sin, you don't go to hell. But unfortunately, like I said, William's going to take us there because he says, chat, we're going to do a forced script break until we get some donations going. There's nothing in the spin bank, chat. We need to start getting some donations going. So I'll see you in a bit.
Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One on one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One on one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One on one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One on one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One on one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness. Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness. Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness!
And we're back, baby. Thank you very kindly, Halfwood. And also, which premium meme would you like, sir?
Let's do some Asman.
Asmongold Gold?
Yeah,
I
do
think it
some
seems
Asman
fitting
Gold.
because we like to ask the in-depth questions here, Wheel of Madness. And equally so does Asmongold.
If you had a robot, a sex robot, and it was controlled by a person in another country where prostitution was legal, but where you were at, it was illegal, but you're having sex with the robot, but the robot is being controlled by a person. Is that illegal? Number one. Number two, if you're a guy and you have sex with a female robot, but the female robot is being controlled by another guy, are you gay? But the robot looks like a girl. Like, let's say the robot looks like a girl. Like, are you gay or not? Only if you know it's a guy. All right, I really like that. So basically, it's like a Schrodinger's gay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a Schrodinger's gay. It's like, if you don't know, then you don't know. You know?
Yeah, if you
We've got
don't
that
know,
fault
man.
there saying put on the unethical Pepe. How about you bring your ass backstage and stop sniping from chat? Motherfucker. Welcome in, not fault there. Pull up a chair, get comfy. And he did what I did yesterday, except the one for Shante did. New goal, Terry. Oh shit, yes. Thank you very kindly, gentlemen. So like I said, it's another hour until the grift break. But if you don't do it, like I said, don't be taking the piss, as they say, because like I said, William will force it. And we have $20 in the spin bank, ladies and gentlemen. So, also, Jack, what are you doing? Get your ass on stage too. What's going on here? What's going on here? But yeah, back to the main point that I was trying to get or dig down towards halfway. It's like when we're saying like the afterlife, like what is that like meaning? Because it has to be something that's like non-physical.
Yeah, no, it has to be non-physical. That's what I mean. Like a lot of people try to perceive it as like this physical planes of clouds, or you could see physical beings of your family members and stuff like that. And I feel like it's a little bit more intricate and complex. Like when I said all spirits and souls go back to God, which would be heaven in itself, it would basically just be one big ass ball of energy, and you are meted with your family members of the past. But the only difference is it's just not what you would presume, and maybe even in the form of a dream necessarily wouldn't be physical. If you couldn't actually have any of the senses to be able to apply to it. I mean, honestly, I don't really feel like most of my senses work in a dream.
Well, unfortunately.
Oh no. Anyway, last week,
Jack says, spin that motherfucking wheel.
Spin it! Wow!
Can you be spiritual but not religious?
I don't know, because I feel like to me being spiritual is religious. I mean, I guess you could be, but technically wouldn't anything that requires any type of ritual or believing in something would technically be religious in a sense.
Right.
So it's kind of like Buddhism and Hinduism. Buddhism believes like what everything has a spirit inside of it that resonates all things together as one entity. And that to me that would still be like a religious outlook of how life could be, because it looks outside the physical planes of things, or at least tries to.
Yeah, and that was a mea culpa on my end, guys. It was at the end of the force group break, not for the spin bank. So William did actually message that earlier on as well. So that's on me for forgetting. So apologizing in terms of that. So we do need $8 for the next spin, but we do get a free spin. So not a bad trade, I guess. Not a bad trade, but like, would you say that Marilyn is religious?
In the sense that,
or just like
yeah,
goofy crystal women.
Well,
like,
even I feel like I'm gonna say no, based on the aspect that I feel like religion has to have an actual ritual of someone applying themselves to the belief. In the sense like how Christians apply themselves, how Jews apply themselves, how I hate to say it, how Muslims apply themselves. However, I don't really consider Islam a religion. I consider it more of a intricate terrorist organization based off of a religious aspects. But I feel like that certain people who just believe in spiritual incarnations, or like everybody's God or anything like that, and don't really have anything else to offer to it other than this is simply just what they believe and what they think, would be kind of not religious in my eyes, because then you would basically say that me believing in myself is a religion.
But that's what I'm trying to see where the line is in terms of like what is religious versus spiritual, where I would say spiritual doesn't necessarily have to have a ritual, but religious does have to have a ritual.
I just feel like religious has more serious practices compared to spiritual. I feel like spiritual doesn't have as serious practices as in like most of the stuff that people do spiritually. I don't think they believe it does what it does, for instance, like, or what they want it to do. Like, I don't like, for instance, think of an old Wicca method is if you get a note and write someone's name on it and put it in water and freeze it in your freezer, you'll put a hold on somebody on their life to where like their life will go nowhere. Basically, is what that'll do. And even if their life goes nowhere, that doesn't necessarily mean you did anything. In the simple fact that you already knew that this person was already going down a downward spiral. I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't take as much serious ritual towards it, in the sense that I don't feel like the actual person believes what they're doing is actually true. I feel like maybe they can convince themselves that it might be possible, but I don't think deep down psychologically they believe it's actually true. Because if they could, they would try to conjure up more than just manipulation.
So like I'm trying to again, like this, like the religious will is a tricky one because you got to be kind of like precise, because obviously to be spiritual you have to believe in spirits.
Yeah.
So is someone believe in spirits but not necessarily be religious?
Yeah. I mean, that would basically be like finding an atheist who believes in ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is, you'd be surprised, is an actual fucking thing. Just because we can't explain it doesn't mean God exists. What? Motherfucker! That's a contradiction.
But is that not like being spiritual without necessarily being religious?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it is possible. Like, there's just certain ways that go about it, because like it would be someone believing in something but not seriously considering it in their actual reality, as in they wouldn't attend with it. Like, they wouldn't try to prove it wrong or right. Like, they would just be simply scared of it, I guess, even though whether it exists or not. Like, I feel like it's just something they would, the mind would build itself towards. It's not necessarily something out of their own doing, but what their mind is going to replicate. And I feel like that's not really religious at all. I feel like religious is something that the mind can replicate in front of it, such as divine belief, or anything that's trying to use biblical terms that don't reach into the ideas of saying spiritually. But you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Like, it's I just feel like spiritually, being able to see something spiritually can be religious, but I feel like it could also not be religious, because you could spiritually believe in, like, for instance, let's take someone from the Western world taking in a Buddhist ideology. People that live in the area where Buddhist ideology and religion is formed actually take that religion seriously. They apply themselves to every single aspect of that religion, whether it's spiritually or not. And people in the Western world will take small adaptations of that and even mix it with Hinduism, and basically say, "Oh, I'm a Buddhist," and honestly, I don't really feel like they're religious at all. It's just they're taking the spiritual aspect without being religious, because they're not really truly applying themselves to that religion. They're just spiritually applying themselves in a non-religious way.
She was on mute again. So, shout out to Jacket Blades with the Ko-Fi donation with $10. Says, here's your 10 back. Cheers, Teriak and William Halfwood. You're a real one. So, one sec. Let me do the thingamabob. That means we add 10 to the goal, and then Jack, you got basically a free meme, whatever meme you want. Let me know. Just the no premiums though. Like I said, the premiums only when we hit the goal. And shout out to you, sir. So we're up to $12 on the spin bank, or we could do 17. If you don't want the meme, we can just put it into the spin bank if you want.
I bet you he's gonna say he's either gonna say Andrew or let's talk about me. But let's see what he says. Did you watch that Andrew debate?
No, I didn't get to see it. What you mean?
Ah, dude, it was over in the first 10 minutes, dude. Like, it's not even. I recommend watching it for all the hilarious bullshit this lady comes out of her mouth. But it's like there's no talking points. There's no actual debate there. Andrew kills it the first 10 minutes, completely annihilates her, and the rest of it's just the same leftist bullshit with no evidence. It's definitely one I can't wait for you to review. I'm not going to spoil a lot of it, but it's my God.
Well, did we think it was going to go down any other way?
No. I mean, we presumed that maybe they start sending smarter leftists to debate with Andrew, but I think they already try to send their best, and I wouldn't even consider it their best. It's just the best that they can account for, I guess, and they don't even want to debate Andrew, and I find that very distinctively hilarious because, like, Andrew is a top debater, no lie, and he does lose debates, but he's a top debater because of the way that he debates. It's not particularly just because everyone can say, "Oh, he wins debates simply because of the way he debates." No, he wins debates based on his method versus his opponent. If his opponent knows his method, maybe they have a fighting chance, and that's probably where he does end up losing. But I feel like with leftist topics, I just don't feel like anyone could really get a grasp of an actual debate. Her whole point was to spread a message. Her point wasn't even to debate Andrew, so it was basically utilizing Brian's platform to get her out there, basically.
And shout out to Barney Gumble the fourth with the 5 Australian. Says props to the Irish. Nice grid. Thank you very kindly, sir. And that puts up to 22. And William, to explain the thing, Jack done 10 on Ko-Fi, so he gets 50% extra. And he said, do you want the meme or do you want to just throw it into the spin bank? And he said, throw it into the spin bank.
All right.
So that's hence why the extra 5, because it's 50% extra using the Ko-Fi or PayPal, just to let you all know. So, like I said, I don't know if you want, if that was a trigger to spin it or not, though, Jack. But let me know in chat. But trying to tie it back to the religious part, like, for example, like shamans, like ancient shamans and ancient druids, is that spiritualistic or religious, or what is that?
I would feel like that would be the mix of spiritual and like that would be religious, but with the spiritualistic aspects because they take their shit serious. I think they actually believe their shit does what it does. Like, because when you say shaman, we still have that today. In Africa, they still have shamans, and you can literally get. Well, I think they're mainly like voodoo witch doctors. They consider them in the category of shamans, but they could do certain stuff with certain components and ingredients that make the human body do things that scientists still to this day can basically provide what it does, but not why it does it specifically. Maybe they can. I might be wrong on that, but I don't know. I feel like they take it a little bit more serious and actually believe that their stuff does that. And I think having a low IQ and being some type of tribalistic person, like, you're gonna you're gonna believe shit like that. Like, you can make them believe that a fucking gun kills you with just sound. There's no projectile coming out of it. Like, like just certain time periods of that time, I feel like you can convince them of something that we would find completely ignorant. Or they can even convince themselves of something that we would find completely unlogical and completely ignorant.
I'd say 1 degree maybe, but in terms of the elites, like, think of the Great Pyramids, we were just talking about it on Easies, but in terms
Yeah, I
of
was
like
watching that too.
like that did require like some sophistication, some like technology of some sort. You know what I mean?
But do you believe that humanity as a whole, not one nation, not none of that bullshit, do you believe humanity as a whole could replicate that? Because I mean, I feel like it's a very, very, very small percentage chance, but I feel like possibly.
But it's just kind of going back to your point where it's like you were saying, like like back then, like you could convince people of anything kind of thing, and I'm like, but it's not necessarily because they weren't like they're not smart. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's not saying that they weren't smart. It's just like it's kind of like information that you just don't have yet. It doesn't make you necessarily not smart, because I mean, like, knowing how to make a fire, knowing how to make a spear, knowing how to make a shelter, and knowing how to survive would be all categories of being a smart individual. But then there would also be the category of certain intellectual things that you may not have either reached yet or completely understand. And that necessarily wouldn't make you dumb, but you would lack that knowledge, which would make you not, I guess, in my eyes, would be less smarter simply because you wouldn't be able to understand it.
But like this is where I'd often point out, like, did the Greeks believe that the gods were like actual people, or did they think that the gods were just the concepts for those ideas behind them, and the stories and the mythology was how to teach them about the concept with the story? You know what I mean? The same way, like for example, like the Ark of the Covenant, the measurements are actually in the Bible. You know what I mean?
I think that would go the same with. I feel like they believed it. I feel like they literally believed it, but it was all like just all proved wrong by the fall of Rome. The same thing with Norse mythology. Like, surprising that there's people that still believe it today, but like that's why it's called mythology now, because back then it was just the belief in pagan belief and anyway, what I'm trying to say is they basically would have it where they literally added aspects of these gods and believed they existed through all of their virtues that they applied in reality. Regardless if the gods were there with them, they believed those gods were there with them. Based on certain things that even like events that happened, they would say that was that god being there, like thunder striking Thor's in the area, or Thor's mad, or like they would have different variations to categorize how they would believe these things. And I could see it that way, being in the olden times and being tribalistic and not having a complete knowledge of things. Like the same thing even goes back to a theory I had about Adam and Eve, and that's like how would they know that in the sense of God coming up out of the clouds? Like, did they actually see a man coming out of the clouds, or could it have been just a gigantic possible, sounds outlandish, like AI or computerized system that covered itself up with clouds to have a voice to be able to give them the understanding? I mean, there's so many possibilities, and it's not something to necessarily believe. Their theories.
Well, you said to give somebody a voice, and speaking of which,
Well, that's
Shout out to BBB for the $20. Appreciate you kindly. And William, I still think that it should be added because, like, if you think about it, like, if they donated 20 on Ko-Fi, they would be getting 3 spins. You know what I mean? So I don't get why it's excluded for the spin bank, but let me know the logic. And welcome, working double shifts. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm working an 8-hour shift today. My double was the other day, so I'm working an 8-hour shift today.
I guess you say you might be praying. You might be praying, and that's why we got the religious theme on the wheel today. Like I said, getting into it, like it's interesting to bring up the previous religions, but like in terms of like that notion of the shaman or the druid, like are they spiritual or are they religious? Or would you say that that those are religions?
Yeah, I would definitely say. I would definitely say they're religions in the aspect of them taking it serious. I'm trying to explain it in a better way that seems like more complex. I guess not that they take it serious, but that they that they believe it. But trying to word this in the way that it sounds right.
No, let me get let me give you a little bit of Pepe. Shout out to BBB again with the $20. Appreciate you, Connie. Did I give you enough time to think about it, or did I just basically make your brain fart?
No.
Pepe?
A little bit, but no. So like, I just feel like it's religious based on the aspect that they apply themselves to it wholeheartedly to what they do, like an actual person of a religious belief that doesn't just use spiritual aspects, but they actually follow through and all the way up to their death, and even pass it on. Like, I just feel like people of the pagan type, I don't really consider them shamans in the sense, but I don't necessarily think they actually believe what they're doing actually did anything, in the sense that they were so I hate to say that they were logical people in the sense to make themselves believe that stuff, but that we were in such a point in life where intelligence was at an all-time high that I see it virtually impossible for them. Virtually impossible. I see it completely impossible for them to actually make themselves believe something as dumbfounded as what they're doing spiritually affects their surroundings.
When you look at, like, let's say, like, that's why I bring up like shaman and druid specifically, because like when you look at them, like they were basically like the old school witch doctor or the medicine man of like the tribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like they had to have knowledge in terms of like, I gotta mix this plant and that's like a pain reliever, and then this and that like will like cure this ailment and all this kind of thing.
Yeah, but they were also wrong about a lot of things too.
Yeah, a lot of it's like trial and errors. Like sometimes like you get like false positive kind of results where it's like you test one.
Well, it wasn't just false positives, but there was also certain things that they didn't know would harm you later in life. Like, it would help you now, but later in life it would affect you based on it. It either had carcinogen properties to it, or like there was just certain things that they were unknowing of back then that they felt like it could help you now. Like, for instance, if they came upon a piece of uranium in the middle of the desert in the olden times, and this radiation was making people feel oozy, they would believe it's fucking cursed. They would believe that through spiritual and without religious aspects, if somebody who wasn't even religious would just believe that it's spiritually cursed, without even taking the acknowledgement of other elements being in the universe that could possibly make you sick, like radiation. And I'm not sure when radiation came about, when they started trying to use it to heal people, which I think it failed back then. But I think they did try to use radiated rocks back then to try and heal people, but they didn't know that they were that it was radiation.
Well, I don't know about radiation, but this is surely a nuke.
I think that women should be grateful. They should be grateful. They live in the best society ever, and it's all built on the backs of not them. The air conditioning, which enables them to even exist, everything which allows them to exist in modernity is built by men, and they're the most ungrateful, snot-nosed brats about it that you've ever seen. And there's really no cause for it because they bring nothing to the table, none of them, including the old bags here who bring nothing to the table by their own admission except their and that, to me, is why, and when asked, this is all you get. I bring love and affection. You don't bring to the table. And that's why you can't even answer the damn question, no matter how many times we ask it. And it makes me sick because that is modernity.
Absolute mic drop from the man himself. Because there's like this concept of like new age spirituality, which a lot of people just accuse of being cults. But that would be kind of like one thing. But then like what would separate that from a religion? Like I guess probably that's probably a good question to touch on. Like how do you separate a cult and a religion?
Well, most cults go over most values of what a religion offers. At least most cults that I've seen would actually uh, disrupt their followers by using, the beneficial values of said religion and exploit those people, which is, a value that's frowned upon of, most, let's say Christian religion. Uh, and I can see a lot of cults will use manipulation tactics and stuff that the Bible forbids you to do in order to, you know, to convert someone. Like there's a difference between converting someone and forcing someone to believe something. Uh, converting is them actually believing it, and that's going to be a part of their life forever, versus someone that's forced to believe it or it's their life. At least that's the best way.
On Google, it says separating cult from religion often depends on the level of social coercion, the authority structure, and transparency. Cults are typically defined by isolationist behaviors, charismatic leader adoration, high pressure financial demands, and restricting members' ability to leave. Whereas where religions generally have established transparent doctrines and positive societal integration.
Yeah, so like you can't leave, you can't really leave a cult, but you can leave a religion.
Well, hang on a second. Doesn't that mean Islam is a?
Is a cult? Yeah, yes, it is. It is. It's definitely a cult because they don't like you leaving, and if you come back, I think it's death.
Like they do have like what's it's called? What's it called? When you walk away or you turn your back on the religion, apostasy.
Wait, what's it called?
apostasy or something like that. Like Vanta said it like multiple times. Like if I go back to Somalia, they will kill me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think
Stop stalling, nigga! Okay, all right.
Sorry, seen it like Williams. Spin that motherfucking wheel. To let you know as well, we got $62 in the bank. So Halfwood, if you want to move on from the topic, let me know. But
yeah, we'll when I start
Halfwood,
getting.
is God real?
In different religions, Buddhism, Hinduism. I've been part of the Jewish religion. My name is even Hebrew. I've also I've tried to experience the Islamic belief. Not for me, because I have an Islamic friend. I respect him, but I can't get down with it. And when I came back to Christianity simply because of Charlie Kirk, I mainly started to reach more towards Orthodox Christianity and understanding, even without religion, because I'm not fully there. I don't really consider myself a Christian. I'm still caught between being a theist and a deist, whether God has control of the universe he's created or he's only able to stare at it and everything he's set in motion is his control. He just can't reach into it. So I'm stuck between that, but I still believe that there actually is a creator of the entire universe, a creator of everything and nothing. Like, regardless if Christianity is right or any religion is right or wrong, I still feel like, regardless of a religious aspect, there is, in fact, a God, a creator of the universe and everything that's in it.
Well, like here's a thought experiment, and it's kind of ironic that I'm saying it's a thought experiment, right? But what if God's creation was just God's thought? God had a thought, or thought itself had a thought. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that would be the idea of the Big Bang. Like, it's a completely vast emptiness of complete open, emptied whiteness of absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden, there's this thought that comes from absolutely nothing, and that thought is
Mhm.
God's thought, and that thought creates the universe and everything in it.
And you say, well, like a thought is not physical, but thoughts are what manifest in reality.
But a thought can manifest physical properties within it, like a dream, for instance. You could see something and that it's there and that it looks physical to you, but until you apply things like the five senses to it, it doesn't necessarily seem real. But I feel like once you apply intricate things like the senses that we have allow us to have an understanding or trick our minds that reality is reality without seeing it as a dream. That's where when we can distinguish a dream from realities, that senses don't go into a dream. Like, punches feel like throwing feathers at somebody.
But like,
But
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, in another aspect. So, like, the theory between free will and determination. A lot of people will say that we're either determined or God gave us free will. And the funny thing is both of these theories prove the existence of God. See, if you were to prove that we do have free will, that would prove that God gave us a gift and that he exists simply because of that gift he has given us. And then if you also say that, well, our lives are predetermined, well, then if they're predetermined, then it was created by God to be determined in that outcome, simply because he created it to be that way. Like a movie playing, like, you can't reach into a movie. You could pause it, play it, rewind it, and fast forward it, but you can't physically reach into the movie and stop the characters from doing what they're going to do because they were already intended to do such things.
I get that, but like in terms of the, because like if you're saying that like it's determined, then it's basically you're playing you're a puppet. Then who's the puppet master? Which would get you back to God, and then on
Yeah,
the
that's what
flip
I'm
side
saying.
to it, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like determination proves the existence of God. Self-determination proves the existence of God just as much as free will proves the existence of God. And that's where I come to the conclusion that there's only either or. There is no third wheel in picking between free will and self-determination. There's no other category, and only both of those can lead to the very conclusion that there is a creator, regardless of humans can categorize what that creator is or who that creator is, using religious text or biblical text, will just give us valuable keys of that understanding, but not the full picture. But I feel like those two aspects right there is what gives me the enough evidence to know that there is a creator out there, because those are the only two aspects that can argue against each other uh, in that outlook. I mean, I guess you could also say there is no determination. Nothing is determined. There is no free will, and everything is just simply it just is. Like that wouldn't make any sense. Like there wouldn't. There's a lot of missing shit behind that by saying things are just as they are, and there's no complete conclusion to them. It has no beginning, no end, and nothing created it. That wouldn't make any sense. Like it just doesn't add up. Nothing created it. It just created itself. Like that in the sense of that self being God, that would make sense. But if you're saying that there's nothing there and it just simply appeared out of its just because, like, you can't even say out of its own desire or anything like that, because then free will and determination would be involved. So you'd have to say that it just came to be, and that just doesn't logically apply itself to anything. So you can only say free will and determination, which still leads to the category that God exists.
Well, like from the aspect of, like what I'm saying is like a God's thought. You know what I mean? Or like why this would make sense if it's a thought, because a thought like manifests into reality. Like that's why we know that. For example, the very computer that you use was once an idea in someone's heads. You know what I mean? And where did that idea come from? And the mere fact that we know that process of having an idea, making the blueprint, and then making the actual thing, like that's technology, that's engineering, all this kind of shit. Do you know what I mean? That's a divine concept. Do you know what I mean? That it's like an objective, like mind independent kind of thing, and that's why it gets attributed to God. So in that light, though, would you not say that this is merely like what we call physical is just like a manifestation of metaphysical?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, the best thing that gives us a close simulation of what that is video games in themselves kind of show you an
Simulations, yeah.
aspect. Yeah, like simulations kind of show you an aspect of the closest example we can get to being as complex as understanding God's point of view. And you can take all the characters inside of a video game, have information that they're programmed to do that is within their thought process. Like they are thinking, but it's within their program, within the machine of the computer. So you would have to understand that in a complex way that would very simulate reality as itself, because certain people could be programmed to only reach a certain limit of things, meaning this guy can never become the world class champion boxer simply because he was never designed to reach that. Even in a free will aspect, I don't even see that. I don't even think that even takes away from your will, because it would be like what you truly desire would be your will. So if you've convinced yourself your will is, I don't want to be strong, I just want to be a caring person and go through my life just being a nice individual. I don't care about being strong, working out, or anything like that. I just want to be a caring individual. That would be your will, and then God wouldn't be taking anything from you, not letting you know that strength would be needed in your life. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's just certain things like that like even with free will, it wouldn't contradict the existence of God, and it wouldn't even contradict the idea of reality being caught in the the idea of what reality could possibly be through the eyes of a human. But let's go ahead and spin that wheel.
Halfwood says, enough of that shit. He
Shut your
says,
fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
spin that fucking wheel, Teriak.
Spin it! Wow!
Halfwood, is the soul separate from the body?
Yeah, I feel like it's separate from the body in the sense that it's not actually like physically attached. It's more along the lines as it's with the body. It's, even though it could be like within it and be like an external life force that keeps the body knowing of its existence, instead of just being like a dull transmute type person where emotions and all that. I would feel like being a soulless person would be like, I don't think the body would be able to function. Like it'd be like being in a coma in a sense. Like I feel like having no soul would be similar to being in a coma, and your body would just completely shut down after a certain amount of time. But I feel like it's not necessarily a part of the body because it can leave the body without taking the body with it. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's not necessarily 100% a part of the body in the way that we think, like attaching two magnets together, or mushing two pieces of Play-Doh together of two different colors where they'll mix together and combine, or two pieces or two colors of paint. I don't feel like the soul and the body is blends together in that in that similar fashion. I feel like it's kind of attached to the body, but separated at the same time, meaning it's not completely grasped to the body or locked on, in the sense that once you die, the soul stays with the body, but in the sense that it could metaphysically, drift away from the body, or I guess that's how you would say that. It would be able to detach itself in the sense of something that it truly wasn't 100% attached to. I'm trying to word that in a certain way. I don't know, but I feel like it's not. I feel like it's. I mean, I feel like it. Wait, is the soul separate? Yeah, I feel like it is separate from the body. If I said that wrong, but yeah, I do feel like it is separate from the body in the sense that even though it is within us, and that we have it and possess it, I don't feel like it's 100% part of the body, as in our souls can go, but our bodies have to stay. It's the best way I could word that.
Like here's here's kind of like an aspect of, like, for example, if I cut off my arm, like let's say there was a horrific accident, all this stuff, and I need to amputate my arm, where they amputate my arm and all this kind of shit, like I'm still me, right? But inevitably there would be a point that if I keep removing, like let's say start getting all this like bionics shit and like robot arms and all that kind of shit, like at what point do I stop being me? Or at least like do I stop being human, and then do I stop being me?
Well, you wouldn't stop being human and then stop being you. That it would have to affect your brain and your mentality, and it would have to affect a lot of things other than just your physical looks, because then you would have to categorize that like the whole transgender thing, that swapping your genitalia or lopping off your genitalia would make you not you anymore. I mean, they would still be them. They're just now in a different physical form that they've chosen. Like I feel like the same thing with I mean, with growing time, like we're no longer ourselves a minute ago. Like we're completely different as time goes on, because the more information that we gain or even lose, we become more or less of ourselves every single day. So in the aspect, I would see that adding multiple robotic ligaments to yourself really wouldn't take away the actual real you until the point where it would completely take over your mind, and then that's when it would no longer be you. For instance, like you could take like 40K aspects to it, where they would have these machines attached to the human body and the human skull and brain, and be able to you know, make them work as soldiers for their entire life, where their limbs are completely chopped off, and the only part is their torso and head, and they're only able to operate this machine, but they're no longer themselves. They're just some bloodthirsty war machine now, and that's all that they have on their mind. They're no longer that would be at the point where you're no longer yourself. Is when it starts affecting your brain, like the whole what I think Elon Musk is trying to do it, the whole neuro brain thing, where people can like basically lock technology into their brain in a certain sense. I feel like certain things like that could probably make you not 100% you.
But what you mean, like, take over the mind? You know what I mean? Like, is because like if you get captured by an ideology, like, are you no longer you?
Well, let's see. No, because you can change the thought of an ideology taking over your mind. Like you could reconvince someone who's had an ideology take over their mind, or any type of mind control, for a matter of fact. I feel like you can reverse in a sense. But when it comes to like using technology to actually add to the brain, or even just, I don't know, do certain intricate things to the brain, might actually completely change it to where they're no longer being themselves. Kind of like, you know, like drug use, for instance. Like you've met someone when they're not on drugs versus when they start using heavy drugs. You can tell the difference between them being the person that they are versus the person they no longer are, and this new person that they've manifested through the use of drugs.
Yeah,
Because
but
it
couldn't
has,
you make the argument that sugar is a drug?
well, yeah, because it could affect the brain. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like if it could affect the brain in a long term sense, then yeah, I could see it that way.
So, like, so then, like, what makes you you? If chemicals and stuff can like change you, and then we're talking about like with the soul, that like you're no longer you. What, like, is that a different soul?
Well, it's
'Cause,
not that
like, I
chemicals
can
can
see
change you.
that.
It's the
Like,
overuse of chemicals. Oh,
because I can see that aspect from like the metaphorical side, where it's like, oh, they've got demons. It's like, yeah, like they're in a completely different mind state to what their quote unquote normal mind state is, because of, let's say, drugs or because of this or whatever. I can see that. Like, again, like anybody who's just like seen someone who's drank too much alcohol would tell you like they're no longer with us. You know what I mean? That's a typical thing that's said, but it's along those lines where we want to make sure that we're kind of like adding all this up. Because if we're saying that they're no longer them, then who are they in that period of time?
well, I mean, like, just like in the sense of a normal functioning person versus a person that's not normally functioning. Like to basically put it is, I mean, you can't really say that a schizophrenic person. God damn, fucking dog. You can't say a schizophrenic person is 100% them, because if you were able to at birth take the schizophrenic gene out of their body, then they would be the real version of them without that schizophrenic gene.
Okay.
which would be the same sense as in, you know, if you were able to take the chemical properties that reset the brain through, let's say, drugs, or even the possibility of technology being able to reset the brain. Because like I think the first guy, I could be wrong, that tested the neuro thing, didn't it? Like it basically put him into like he's completely retarded now. Like he's a vegetable. I can't remember. But the first guy that tested Neuralink is I think he's a vegetable. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but like a lot of the stuff I read some stuff that might be off topic from what I'm originally reading. But like I just feel like now you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I've just typed into to Grok. Like I said, like I kind of have a kind of like side by side just to make sure that we're not bastardizing or doing any blasphemies or anything like that, because like I don't want to be kind of doing a whole devil's advocate for a position that like nobody even holds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Shante was even saying as well, like in terms of like possession, like I can see that from the metaphorical side of like possession. Like they've been possessed, but in terms of like what I'm trying to dig at is like that essence of the soul, that there is something metaphysical to it. But like when we try to get specific or nail it down, it starts to get really fucking difficult, because then are we saying like is your soul being changed when you're in that like you know, intoxicated state? Is there, you know what I mean?
Let's put it like this. Let's use this metaphor or this hypothetical, in the sense that I see the soul as kind of like a puppet master holding a puppet. That fucking boat. Kind of like a puppet
Wait,
master
what the
holding a
fuck?
puppet.
Bro, are you on like some mythical quest? Like, did you meet Gandalf? Like, like we're hearing from a fucking dog, and then there's a boat, and it's like, wait, what the fuck?
I'm on a journey.
We're gonna hear like a circus in the background next. It's like, motherfucker, where are you?
Oh yeah, when somebody starts pulling up playing Mexican music in their car, yeah.
Yeah, now there's a beep and like some big vehicles reversing. Where the fuck?
No, that's the arm for the bridge going down. I work at a boat dock.
Okay, so basically you're Johnny Depp or you're Captain Jack Sparrow. I like it. I like it.
You hear the creaking of the alarm going off on the freaking bridge. But yeah, no, like I feel like, so to basically put it in a certain aspect, or so think of like how I'm trying to explain it is like the soul would be like a puppet master, and your body is the puppet, and the strings, and then there's the rope, and the puppet master has grasp of the puppet, can control what the puppet does, where the puppet goes, how the puppet is, and the puppet's mannerisms all the way down to the T. However, the puppet master can let go of the puppet. And that's how I would take place of how the soul is to the body. It could let go of the body at any given point. It would probably take certain complex and intricate ways for it to leave the body, such as death or anything else that's as complex. Because I think like I said, you'd have to simulate something very similar to a coma that would represent someone being completely soulless.
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm saying is that it's like in that kind of like intoxicated state. Like you could say, okay, like the puppet is, let's say, badly damaged, or the strings to the puppet is badly damaged, so that like the puppet master's not able to move it properly. But,
well, I mean, it would be like taking a drug or doing alcohol would change the puppet master. Meaning, like for instance, your soul would be the main part carrying it, but it can get split from the soul in a certain way that's completely metaphysical from it's almost like another incantation separate from the soul, or it's part of the soul itself, but it's the soul where it stops it lets grasp, but it's still there, as in it's letting something else take grasp, such as the chemical that you've taken, or You know what I mean? Like it's almost like the alcohol becomes the puppet instead of your soul that becomes the puppet master instead of your soul becoming the puppet master in that sense. Like it's just a theory, but that's basically the best way I could explain it as how the soul kind of feels carrying itself with the physical body. And then anything that affects the body and the soul kind of makes it where the soul still lingers with the body, but no longer has a complete full grasp.
Yeah, but when you said like it's like the puppet master is no longer the puppet master, it's the alcohol that's the puppet master. When you say the alcohol then becomes the puppet master, like what does that mean? And does that tie back into what Shantae was saying in terms of possession? Like that metaphorical essence of like that's what like they were trying to describe when they were saying, oh, like they're possessed by demons, they're possessed by whatever you're saying the alcohol being in control is.
Yeah, I would see it as like possession, but this would be possession through physical property instead of medical physical property, where being possessed through like a evil spirit or demon would be being possessed through a metaphysical property through the brain, or not even through the brain. It could even possibly just be metaphysical in itself, just like the soul. Like it's there, and it takes a toll on the body, but you really can't prove that it's there other than a sixth sense or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it usually takes another person to know that another person isn't themselves. It's hard for an actual person to look in the mirror for a long period of time and realize that they're not themselves. And usually, when people do that, they self deletion is usually imminent. But that's probably that would be my best take on it. Really, is like a person can let certain things possess them, and that includes alcohol, substance abuse, mental abuse, genetic, anything like that. I feel like could possess the mind separate from the body and the soul itself. Like it'll leave the soul around, but it won't let it have full grasp of it. Meaning that you can re-get this person back, but it's within a complex frame that humans can't just simply revert easily. Like it's something that it's complex. Like for instance, someone who uses alcohol, you don't just have to convince them not to drink alcohol anymore. You have to let them convince themselves they don't need the alcohol, because it isn't just you convincing them, it's the person. It's kind of like as someone who has to quit cigarettes. It takes the person themselves to come to the realization that they have to give it up. You can't convince a person no other way.
True. And especially talking about convinced people.
Oh shit! I just realized too. All right, it's 4:30, guys. Oh shit! Right on the button. William's like, I'm not letting that. I'm not letting that.
Get it. His name is William, and he says, "Spin that motherfucking wheel." Avod, does Satan really exist?
I do think Satan exists, but I feel like it's also another one of them complex things, like in a metaphor, feeling as in like I'm not really sure if Satan was actually a physical being, as in it was just more of like the spiritual or the one part of God that was rejected out of space and time where God is, that he simply could not have with him because of the type of thoughts and processes that lead up to it. Just seems so beyond him and demonic. Like it seemed like something that was not of him. And that's where you get like temptation and certain like that. Like when you do something and you know that it's wrong, but you do it anyway to get that feeling of why it's wrong, but you never stop to think, why am I doing this? Like I don't know. I used to hunt birds, and for a while, like I completely understand hunting doves and collecting the meat and actually eating it, but I was shooting birds and I was just shooting them and just leaving the bodies behind. I wasn't even doing anything with them. And I got to that point where I started to realize that what the fuck am I doing? This is terrible. Like I'm actually just killing something to kill something, and I'm not like. Eventually, I started feeding it to my cats, but even then, it's like I'm not doing anything morally good here. I'm literally taking something's life for my own enjoyment, and that this is when I was a kid, and it took me till my like middle school fucking years to realize that it's just immoral to do something, especially knowing that it's immoral. Like if you know something is bad, but to you it's not bad, but you know it's bad based on the morals grounds set by God. You know that it's bad, but to you don't consider it a sin or bad or immoral, but you know that it's immoral based on those principles. That I feel like is what, you know, is that version of Satan that exists, is what I'm trying to say. That's basically what I'm saying. It's a manifestation that humans can have within themselves by rejecting certain values that God has given us.
100%. And folks, before we get my side of the story, we are going to take a quick break because we didn't hit the goal of setting new one in chats. This is speaking about like favorite parts of the show. This is William's favorite part of the show, folks. We need $20 in the Ko-Fi to end the madness. Let's get, or if you hit the current super chat and the goal as well, whichever order. Like I said, I'm just a wee little leprechaun trying to fill this pot of gold. Like, look at this. Look at the shoes. You know what I mean? Like, all that, like, they're dry cleaning on the jacket. Like, that Dickie Bow ain't cheap. I mean, like that wee hat and all stuff. And I look at this thing. Like, this is a very small pot of gold, okay? Like, I had to zoom in very close to it and all that. But, like I said, folks, let's get her done. I'll see you in a bit.
Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness. Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, as I've basically been going through a sneezing fit. But just to address Shante says, fuck, it's hard being broke. No, Shante, I'd argue it's more difficult being rich because, like, think about it. If you're broke, like, you have, like, the best excuse. It's like, I'm broke. What do you want from me? You can't get blood from a stone. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's always appreciated, never expected. But if you're rich, you have to, like, think about, like, you have to invent all new excuses each time people ask you for money. You know what I mean? If you have the money, why aren't you giving me the money? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back onto this. Like I said, I did tell you this before we oh, 1 sec, let me get the banner off. Before we left, that I would give my side to this. In terms of when you look at the Hebrew word chasatan, like the direct or precise translation just means adversary. You know what I mean? And when you look at the setup of Job, like it's not a definitive thing or a literal thing. I'd make the argument that it's not a literal thing because when you look at the other books, like anytime it's like being very specific or literal, you'll see a pattern where it's like listing. It'll like go out of its way to keep listing like what we would now call like a gish gallop. It basically says it'll, like, for example, when it's listing off the lineage, it'll literally go the Jacob who came from David, who came from Ting, who came from Ting, who came from Ting, and it'll like go into like that kind of pattern, right? Anybody who's actually read the Bible will be able to confirm. But like that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of Book of Job is a metaphorical story of how do you determine authority, or how do you determine it's basically like a test, pop quiz on whether or not you're actually able to determine what's right and wrong. Because if I just put the label of God on something, are you going to follow it? No. That's not the value from God. The value from God is you actually being able to determine that regardless of the label, I'm able to take the abstract and value it based on the moral system of Christian ethics. And it will produce flourishing for society.
Yeah. You can hear me clear? All right, let's make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like I was saying about how I think like Satan exists, but in like a manifestation form, like, you know, it's metaphysical in a sense, and how Satan would be able to technically move around and touch multiple people at once, similar to aspects of God. Not saying that he's God or godlike, but to be able to have similar attributes or ways of doing things. I feel like that's how he would exist, or how it would exist. Like saying that it would have a physical form, you would have to say that there's something out there with a physical form of Satan that would have to be a complete, have its own predetermined system in the universe, meaning everything that it's doing is completely not that of the control of God. It would be completely the opposite. It would be it controlling itself without free will interfering, or even predetermination by God interfering. It would be its own determination separate from that of God. And I just don't feel like a physical form of something like that could really exist. I feel like it would have to be metaphysical.
Well, like GT in chat also says, like, in terms of, like, if Satan means the guy that lives in the fire realm with the horns and the pitchfork, then no. It's like, yeah, like, if we're talking like the Futurama robot devil dude, no, I don't think that exists.
It's the same thing like saying, is God a bearded man in the sky? It's like that. It's certain things like that. Is I feel like it's just more intricate and complex. Like by saying that his complete true form would be anything that of human, or even resemble, because it was completely taken out of Greek mythology, the physical looks of what God would be through Zeus, basically. It's kind of where that kind of really came from. But I feel like it would be more complex, like just a source of energy. Excuses are for bitches.
That's what I love about Shantae. She's always roasting us in chat. You know what I mean? Like, I just look down. You know, like, we're like being like not only philosophical but theological, and then I just see
Call me
Shantae.
bitch, flat-chested bitch. Pretty much everybody wanting to rape me.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, and I also feel like if you did see a physical form, in a sense, I think it would be more of your brain and your eyes deceiving you, of kind of like a mirage or a hallucination. Like it convinces you as if it is there physically, but it's really not. Like I can see the devil also being, again, metaphysically in that property, just not 100% fit, like a physical being in itself. Like I just feel like it would, if it was true, I just feel like we'd be at war with demons in that sense. Like I just feel like, and the whole literal sense about hell being below us, I think it's a little bit more complex as well. That being said too, because then you'd have to say that there's an actual place down below that humans could reach where devils and stuff are, and my argument against that is, if you die away from Earth, far out in space, like on Mars, what hell do you go to then? If you die on Mars, do you go to the hell that's on Mars because it has a different core, or like how does that go about? Like that would be my argument about saying hell is below us on Earth. Like that's the part where I'd be like, it wouldn't really make sense to me. And that I feel like it's a metaphor for an actual place that might be somewhere below us in the actual known universe, that can't be reached physically.
Oh shit, we lost him. They got him. Told you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fan-funded show because they're coming after us. We've been talking a lot of truth lately. You know what I mean? The Alphabet Boy showing up. Like I showed you, like the rainbow, was it the Rainbow River or some shit like that? You know, he's back.
Push the wrong button. Yeah, no. So like,
MK Ultra real quick.
Yeah, it's just.
Did Will Smith just show up with it and do a flashlight? Never mind. Just continue. Sorry, I'm not supposed to talk. I'm not gonna talk about that.
Shit, I forgot where I left off. Fuck.
Sorry, threw a smoke bomb down at you. But no, like you're basically getting in the whole kind of like mentality of like spiritual warfare.
Yeah, like it's kind of I don't know, like just the best way I could explain it is that it's more of it's a metaphysical thing, and we can see physical properties of it, but it's just more of an illusion to us. It's very similar to how you try convincing someone of a third world country, because they wouldn't know the sciences behind it, that the entire time that they're staring at something, they're actually seeing it upside down. And it's the certain part in your eyes, the optical lens, that actually turns it right side up to make you actually see it the way that the eye designs it to be seen, but it's not the actual way that you're actually seeing it through the brain and the starting point of the eye. You're actually seeing it upside down. And to convince someone that you're seeing something upside down your entire life would be like, I don't know, kind of hard to do, I guess.
Well, what do you mean trying to convince them of that it's upside down?
Well, I mean, like to have them, well, not really convince them, but have them understand that it's the illusion that their eye puts out, that you're seeing things right side up. It's reversing the image to better fit your adaptations to this planet and universe and stuff. I mean, it might be the planet more or less. I feel like maybe different planets could even affect our body's anatomy. But for instance, fucking the arm's going up, it's making a beeping noise. But like, for instance, being able to have someone understand that your eyes start out seeing everything upside down before it sees it right side up. Like you'd have to look up the biology of it. I just feel like the brain can do that with certain things, and the person would be of no understanding of what that is. If you catch my drift, or did I lose you? Hello? Did you go get some coffee?
Oh shit, I was on mute, for fuck's sake, bro. Man, I just gave a whole thing. Oh my god.
Don't worry, I did an entire live for 2 hours, and for an hour and a half I was muted.
Fuck, man. Yeah, I've done that like with the few kind of like intro streams and all that kind of stuff, but like then you learn to kind of click back to the studio every like kind of like once in a while and just make sure that like everything's kind of like running smoothly on that end. But yeah, no, like this scene was even in Futurama, but it's been in like multiple kind of like movie concepts on this kind of thing, where it's like there's two colliding worlds, and then there's like a scene where it's like one person's technically upside down, but because they're still on that planet, they're still running on that side, and then the other person's running on the other planet, and like these two worlds, and there's a sudden point where the gravity no longer is, if you get me, and they're basically kind of like, it's like freeze frame, and then they hop back down to the other side. So what if bats are actually right side up and we're upside down?
Hold on, waiting for this boat to leave. It's loud. But yeah, no, like so the part where Mars gets super close to the Earth, and there's the two different perspectives of the inverted world versus the right side up versus the upside down, basically. Mine would be more along the lines of I'm a security guard. I'm more along the lines of thinking that how the eye sees it is almost different from that view, because that would be like the physical view of what the eye is already seeing right side up and seeing something upside down. I mean, you would basically have to like do that thing where you hang with your legs or stand on your head upside down and stare at the world and observe it for a good few minutes and kind of pretend as if this is what you see daily. Like you'd have to come to the understanding or have people come to the understanding this is truly what you see every day, but your eye turns it the other way. It's an illusion in a sense, but it's an illusion created by the eye to help you better adjust to your surroundings. So imagine living our lives, but we see the sky below us and we see the land that we walk on above us. Like we'd be able to adapt to it, but it would be very complex to even think about something like that. There was a scientist that actually did that study where he put on some goggles that inverted his vision to see upside down. I think he did it for about 82 days. I can't remember. And when he took them off for about a week, he still saw everything upside down until his eyes readjusted.
But like, there's been reports of like people like who do hallucinogenics, and that like they get like a weird thing where they can't recognize faces, or like faces like are all like jumbled up when they look at them. That's the typical thing that you see, especially in like movies and all this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I could see that because I've took mushrooms to the point where like, you know, you can make shit move, but I think that's more just along the lines of the psychedelic affecting the brain and the eyes, well, pretty much all your senses at once, to make that illusion appear so. Because if you got somebody that was sober looking at it, they wouldn't see what you see because they can't, you know, truly feel what you're feeling. Well, you know what I mean. But what I'm saying is like, anyway, you know, roll the wheel. I'm tired of this damn fucking.
Well, like you're saying in terms of what you're seeing, like for me personally, I imagine like what you're seeing is something along the lines of this. Because like you got the sound of the boats, then you got the birds chirping, all this kind of stuff. So I think like you're like Pepe on a boat. Is that true or is that false? Because like Shantae wants to know. You know what I mean?
You're thinking
she was worried. She thought you were in a police station, and now you heard the boats too. So I think you're Pepe on a boat. Are you with Pepe?
Kinda. I'm not on the boat, but we direct the boats. But that basically that would describe shit. Who the fuck was it? Was it Freud that did it? No, I can't remember. The caveman with the torch. The caveman trapped in a cave, or the man trapped in a cave with the torch beaming light to show as if humans were passing by to give them the sense that that there are people outside. But however, it's a contraption where it's logs moving in a circle to simulate as if people are moving by. But the people in the cave are convinced that it's human beings walking by, but they can't. I mean, it's the same thing as the Schrodinger's box. It's very similar to that, but it's a different method though. It's people being trapped in a cave and being convinced that people are outside and that they're going to be saved to be able to survive longer. They did it with rats by putting them in water and making them swim till they drowned, which is terrible. And then they experimented again where they would make them swim, and then right at the point where they would give up and about to drown, they would take them out and then immediately put them back in, and the rat would have the immediate sensation in their brain to know that they're going to be saved. So they would continue swimming for an additional 4 to 5 hours because they know eventually they're going to be saved if they wait long enough.
The bold strategy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But as you said, Alfred, spin that wheel. Does faith healing actually work? Hey, my man.
Does faith healing actually work? What is faith healing? Like praying? Would that be faith healing? Or like, what would you consider faith healing? Because you can't heal someone and pray in the way like your prayer sounds like a demand to heal someone through God. Like it seems like you could ask God in prayer to help this person in need or something like that. Uh, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between that. I would have to say yes because let me give it a little bit of anecdotal experience. So we had this cat
Oh
named
shit.
Maynard when we went
Mm-hmm.
during a really catastrophic hurricane during 2008 destroyed our home. So we had to stay in Waco, Texas for a while. And we had a cat with us named Maynard. And in this big, huge yard in Waco, Texas, one of my distant uncles has multiple dogs and stuff like that. And the cat ended up getting in the fence area where the dogs were, and the dog tore the shit out of the cat.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
William don't care. He's as cold like that shit. He wants to spin that wheel. Well, I had a good counter though. Like that is a spicy one. I do have to say. But well, I think we're kind of going to hear from the same story. Yeah. Go ahead.
This
Half
still
I
goes
think you
into
can
this-
continue your story. I guess.
So this dog rips this cat a fucking hole in his fucking stomach. Like this cat did not seem like he was
Mhm.
gonna make it. Like he was destroyed. And my grandma literally places her hand over this cat. And I'm a kid crying. She's praying to God to save this cat. And like we did the best we can by bandaging the cat up, putting medicine on it. But if there was any internal bleeding, the cat wasn't going to survive. So the next few days, that spot healed up and it came back as white fur because it was an entire black cat. And I was like,
Okay.
this cat should be dead. His guts were hanging out. How the hell did a little bit of fucking peroxide and stuff like that and bandaging with no stitching able for this cat to survive? Like the miracle of healing is wild. Like I don't know. You'd have to say it's a miracle. You'd have to say it's faith healing in a sense because my grandma asked God to see if he could, and it was almost like he delivered. Like that's the best way I can say that. That's like one of many miracle experiences I had. Another one, like I told you about when I gave, I brought that child into the world. But literally, like it was at my job. No one else has ever experienced delivering a kid at my job. Has no experience doing anything medical. I read a lot of medical books. Everything medical wise for like college text medical books. Me and my brother spent a lot of time in high school just reading them because we were interested in them. Other than laughing at penises and vaginas here and there, we did learn stuff. But I ended up being the only one that could be able to deliver that child, knowing what to do. And the child even had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, and I knew exactly what to do in that situation. Use your fingers to slightly spread the umbilical cord a couple of centimeters so it takes pressure off of his neck, so you're able to slide the child out. Because if not, it would strangle the child. So I knew what to do in that moment when delivering the kid, and I feel like that was a miracle moment because the ambulance was like 20 minutes out. The baby was about to come out now because the lady had multiple kids already. So, and I didn't want a child to hit the floor of a car. Like the dad couldn't do it. He was throwing up. He couldn't do it. So like, it's like one of the moments where it's like, God was with me while I was delivering that kid. It gave me I was barehanded too. Like other than having enough.
One of the things they do is called anal leaking, where a man's anus is leaked like this by the other person, like ice cream. And then what happens, even poo-poo comes out. The other poo-poo's out, and then they eat the poo-poo.
William saying spin that wheel. I get the childbirth is a miracle and all this kind of stuff, but like the graphic detail of like actually explaining childbirth.
Yeah. I guess I don't need to explain.
That's why we gotta spin the wheel. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like there's some things that are unexplainable.
Just me being there to be able to perform the miracle.
Mm-hmm. Now here's perhaps a defense, or you might need to put on defense in terms of, if God is good, why bad thing happen? Why is there suffering?
Well, I don't think all bad things are necessarily immorally bad things. Like I don't feel like all suffering is bad. I feel like in a certain sense that we have to suffer a little bit to understand exactly what it means to be alive, what it means, what life truly means, and what it means to have a purpose or an existence. Because if we didn't suffer, then we would just go meaningless. In the eyes that I would see it is, if we didn't suffer, we would be like a bunch of gods that would just, mock each other and not really care about the universe or anything in it, and just treat it as if it's our own big selfish playpen. And that's kind of how I see a lot of the gods from Norse mythology or Greek mythology, because they don't really, they treat it like it's their kingdom and they get to do whatever they want, and that pisses Zeus off.
Oh shit! I just realized too. All right, it's 4:30, guys. Oh shit! Right on the button. William's like, I'm not letting that. I'm not letting that.
Get it.
His name is William, and he says, because of sin, bah, and then now spin the wheel, white boy. Also, I just want to highlight, it is the US colors because it's President's Week, so I'm just saying, I went a little bit all out for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But Alfred, does praying actually work?
Well, you have to understand, like, what are you trying to, like? I've asked a lot of people this, like, what do you do when you pray? And in the sense as, like, are you asking God? Are you demanding from God? Are you, like, for instance, someone, if they get down on their knees and participate in the action of praying, but you're saying stuff like, oh, praise God and the Lord. I hope in the next year or so I stumble upon some good ass money. I get a car, a big mansion, and bless my family and stuff like that, and give them some good shit. Like, that would be more like along the lines of not asking God. That sounds like you're demanding what you want from God based off of your faith. To me, it would be like asking God in the sense, and you have to let him take hold of it. Meaning you can't be all like, if God does it, then I believe him. And because God will know this out of you. It would be like, you believe him, you leave your faith in him, praying to him as in, I'm asking you to make this person healthy. He won't even bargain with you. You can't be all like, take my life for this person's life. Like that, God won't bargain with you, because God's not the devil. He's not meant to bargain, but he will simply, out of kindness, do things if you ask. And I feel like that's one of those things where it's either, that's where I'm stuck between theist and deist, because it's either something that was already set in motion, that he had planned set for that very moment that you are in suffering, or asking.
Like, for me, like, when you look back at like older things, like for example in Sherlock Holmes, when they're speaking in like old English dialect, or like Shakespeare when you're reading, it's like there'll be a phrase like "pray continue." What is that? But what does "pray continue" mean? Alfred, you're muted, by the way. He's probably plundering the booty, working on the boats. But like just to chat as well, like that phrase "pray continue," it means please continue or please go on. You know what I mean? So it's like, back in those days, pray and please were kind of like synonymous. So like this whole aspect that Halfwood is saying is, are you kind of saying, are you doing it from a pleasing point of view? Like, are you demanding? Do you think you're entitled to things? Is it that mentality? But I'd even kind of like say, for me, like praying and meditation are often synonymous. Although I'm pretty sure there's specifics and nuance. But contemplation, I would say, is maybe a form of praying. You know what I mean? Because I don't necessarily would say that praying is always like you're asking God for something. Wouldn't praying also be kind of going over like your past faults, like past decisions? Did I do this right? Did I do that right? Should I was I over the top here? You know what I mean? And like that's why, you know, the well, at least this is my kind of like insight on it. It's like my like why I was understood is like that's why the priest is reading a certain story, because there's a certain moral, and then you're basically taking that moral and kind of like holding yourself accountable. It's like, am I actually, you know, holding myself accountable? You know what I mean? And like that's why like the I think this was the Catholic thing. Like you had like different saints and all this kind of stuff. So you ever lost something, you're supposed to pray to Saint Anthony. But the whole idea behind that is you'd start praying to Saint Anthony, and you start thinking about the last. You eventually think of like the last thing you were doing before you got it, before you lost it, or you think about the last time you knew you had it, and then boom, you get the eureka moment and divine inspiration, as they say. So, if you ask me in terms of that aspect, I just gave you an example where praying works, or multiple examples. You know what I mean? And I think half of it's either getting off work. I think you mentioned he was basically getting off work in about 20 minutes or so. So he's the plunder the booty. But that's why I went with the religion wheel today. Because there's a lot of the next questions that need to be addressed or answered, I think, in this spiritual warfare we find ourselves in. Because if anybody was paying attention, Andrew in the Crucible, would have seen your boy pop up, obviously without my goal on. But you would have seen this beautiful face and this beautiful green flame pop up and basically direct question straight to Neil saying, listen, brah, why aren't you supporting Orthodox? If Plato continued on Heraclitus and Aristotle continued on Plato and Christians continued on Aristotle, you know what I mean? And then we get to the whole conversation that I want to be had, which is personal versus impersonal. But unfortunately, William says, enough of that. Enough of
Shut your
that.
fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
Get this topic the fuck out of here. Spin that wheel. Bear in mind, folks, if you don't want it to be a religion, you want something else, it is only $25. Here are the themes you can select from down below. Pop culture, which is a bit more kind of like fun, kind of like lighthearted kind of thing. The dating, which again is kind of more on the lighthearted side, but apparently like my prescription of women ought pay for the first date is that's a spicy caliente, senor, senorita. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's up to you if you want it. But like I said, is being gay a sin? Now, first of all, we have to define what is a sin. An immoral act considered to be a transgression against divine law. And also William is correct. Oh my god, my okay, now we're back. Man, StreamYard is not doing okay. Because like sometimes when I go back onto the tab, like the chat's all fucked up, it's all warped and shit. But William's saying, yeah, we're almost at 90, folks. We're only $3 away from 90 and only $13 away from halfway to the daily goal. If we get to the daily goal, we switch out the wheel to the madness wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, on the madness wheel, we got gifted members. We got mutes for the panel. We got mutes for Teriak. Madness, I say. But anyways, getting back to this, like in terms of like the transgression against divine law, like this is the, like even Putin was saying this. In multiple of his speeches, he points out that like the West has lost its way because like you look at like all like any of the historical texts, like it's between a man and a woman. You know what I mean? That essence of the family. And when you see these groups popping up and like their doctrines or their manifestos or their charters or whatever you want to call them, all these things are saying the same thing. Where it's like we don't want the nuclear family. You know what I mean? And I know what chat doesn't want. Chat doesn't want a grift break, but folks, we did fail to hit the goal, which means we're going back to another grift break. So first of all, let me set another goal. So any of them will on the grift break will count towards the next goal as well. But we are going to be going on the grift break. I'll be nice this time because, like I said, like we have plenty in the spin bank and all this kind of stuff again.
Nothing in green. Got a rainbow for a runway and a pop that's looking lean. I've been dancing on TikTok, selling shamrock and FTs. But the goal's running low, darling, won't you send a little to me? I'll jig on your screen, do a reel with me, beer. Drop a super chat, sugar, make a poor Sprite feel cheer. It's a wee bit of grip, but it's honest and true. I just need your dollars to sparkle like dew. Fill me pot of gold, pretty baby, won't you fill me pot of gold, make it overflow. Send a 5, send a 10, send 100 if you please. I'll be dancing on rainbows down my knees. Fill me pot of gold, honey, don't be shy. I'm a grifting little leprechaun with a twinkle in me eye. Come on, y'all, Venmo's have leafy grift 6 miles. I got Lucky Charms courses, just $9.99. Millionaire mindset from a fella who's never seen a dime. I'll bless your PayPal with a 4-leaf emoji spell. If the pot stays empty, I'm heading straight to well. I'll trade you a selfie with me pot for a tip. Add glitter and filters, make your timeline flip. It's a hustle with heart, just a wink and a nod. Help a leprechaun live like a countrified god. Fill me pot of gold, pretty baby, won't you fill me pot of gold, make it overflow. Send a 5, send a 10, send 100 if you please. I'll be dancing on rainbows down on my knees. Fill me pot of gold, honey, don't be shy. I'm a grifting little leprechaun with a twinkle in me eye. Cash App, Zelle, crypto, whatever floats your shamrock. And now listen here, sugar, every coin that you send turns a poor little sprite into your rainbow best friend. Ooh, fill it up, right eyes. Fill me pot of gold, pretty baby. biggest leprechaun you'll ever know. Ken P. Fill me Poe.
And we're back, folks. Oh, what? One sec. The grift break is over because boy, Halffoot, I told you. Like I said, the phone died. I also think he's getting off work, so like that's all as well. So take your time, Halffoot, take your time. But we do have a new super chat, like I said, for an hour extension. Chat, if you want to extend the show by an hour, you got to hit the super chat goal, or again, a $20 Ko-Fi or PayPal will do the job as well. But like I said, we're still stuck on this topic. Let's to let you know as well, ladies and gentlemen. We still have $42 in the spin bank as well, so don't be afraid to spin it as well in chat. But yeah, like in 1 second, let me get the banner down. In terms of the being gay is a sin kind of thing, in terms of like the divine order, right? How does one create a family, man and woman? You know what I mean? Going against that shit, you know. Now, does this mean that it's like you need to wipe out all the sinners and all this kind of shit? Nah, that's going like scorched earth, bro. You know? And like I say half ironically, you know, like all eyes on Milo. Because Milo's been saying a lot of interest and shit. And it's like, one of the things that I point out is that it's like we were all supposed to go along with this whole cisgender thing, right? Which is a group of people, the whole trans thing, with their team of scientists and their studies, apparently. They were like more than willing to like label all us as cis, bunch of sissies, you know? But the Christians aren't allowed to label homosexuality as a sin. Even sounds like a cis sin. So why is it rules for thee but not for me? That's my main question. Because when I joined the EU, from like my own independent nation, all that stuff, and then the EU comes along and says, wouldn't it be great if you became part of the EU, all that kind of shit, like global warming or something, like whatever the fuck they're quoting now. Wouldn't it be great if you became part of the EU? And I go, yeah, bet. And they say, yeah, but you have to have pride parades. I'm like, but nobody wants to have pride parades. But you have to. You know what I mean? That's a bit fucked up. But like, I guess you kind of sum this up with the aspect of bakery, the bakery and baking of the gay cake, or the cake for the gay wedding. You know what I mean? But, ladies and gentlemen, he's come back again. You thought he was gone, but he's coming back. Let me introduce him again.
We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.?
Mr. Half-Foot Gaming. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, this time I got on my computer, so I got to worry about my phone dying. I hate when I have a power bank, but it's battling with all the applications I have running on my phone, so it can't charge it correctly. Anyway, so in high school, and all the way through until I pretty much started getting more into the Christian faith, I was pansexual. And the reason why I kind of got out of that is because coming to the understanding that gay is sin, that any type of gay action is sin, but you have to understand that even being a gay individual who can't leave that sin, you still have to realize that it is a sin that you're committing. It's the same thing about like women who abort. You have to understand that you are committing a murder. You are killing an innocent human being. Like that's literally the one thing they have to come to terms with, but they would rather reject that and make up their own excuse of why it's not, and to justify the sin. And it is a sin. And even if it's something,
so what is pansexual?
So pretty much, it doesn't matter if they're male, female.
I'm about to say, motherfucker, if you say people have sex with pans, I'm about to say, you trolling motherfucker.
No, but me and my friends always joke about that one. Like, romantic time is when my baby mama would dress up as Pots and Pans robot. No, it's basically like from the age of consent to all the way up to the oldest age possible, male, female, transgendered, what have you. None of that shit like affects me. Like I could be in a relationship with literally anybody. I'm compatible with anyone. It doesn't really affect me. I don't have an attraction to physical appearance necessarily, but I would also apply that to being another form of temptation, because I still have to have an attraction to women to be able to reproduce under the eyes of God. So, but like mentally, I don't have that attraction. Isn't there? I find it more in the personality of a person. So like if me and a person can connect on a mental level or in certain aspects, that's pretty much it. But honestly, me and that person have to be on the same wavelength for it to be a relationship more than just a friendship, because I take a lot of gratitude in friendships more than I do when it comes to a full-on starting of a relationship, because I feel like that's, a lot of starting relationships is that beginning love shit that just, ends up slowly fading, and you have to learn to be able to stick together and all that, that shit. But I'm not saying people shouldn't be gay or cannot be gay, but that they should know, even if they can't stop being gay, that it's still sin. Even if they accept Jesus into their heart, they still have to accept that it's sin. It's like, it doesn't necessarily make up for it by doing that either, but you still have to want to stop doing it is the purpose. Because I've seen a couple of gay people just, stop being gay and digress into finding a wife, having a kid, and all that stuff. So
possibly Casanova's in chat as well. Get your ass on panel as well, bro. Let's spice this shit up. He goes, why you lying? I woke up to a cat's prayer. The fuck is this? Hey, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. This is the religious wheel, okay? So if you want to talk about some theology, some religion, now's the time, baby. Click the link in the panel. And if you want to spin the wheel as well, we technically have $42 in the spin bank as well, just to let you know. So, well, actually more. We should be 47 actually, because I forgot to include the your 5 half-foot. So let me clean that up. But in terms of like, if you look at God's divine order, right? That's what we say when we say oughts. what ought to be, you know. So like in terms of like creating a family, it's like it is between a man and a woman. No matter what way you slice the cookie, you know.
Yeah, because that's the way God made it. He even made that in all animals. He even made that in plants. He made that like it's in all forms of life. He made it that way. Yes, there you could use the argument. There are different types of animals that can change their sex. They can go from male to female, or they have no sex and they just a produce, like could just reproduce right there and then. But that I don't really categorize them as the factor that it's still leaving out the fact that there's still only transitions of them going from male to female, and the one that can reproduce is basically showing signs of being more of a female than a male being able to reproduce that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's certain things, and like I was gonna like I still think it's sin. I feel like the whole trans thing is like it's gay, but it's more than that. It's because it's like I know a lot of gay people that dress like women and feminine wise, but they don't think they're women. They know that they're a man. And that's the part that confuses the shit out of me. And they're confused too, because they're like, being a man and being attracted to men and dressing as a woman doesn't make you a woman. It just makes you a gay man that dresses as a woman.
True.
No, your explanation sucks. I'm grabbing my headphones.
Ah, shit, boys. It's about to go down. I'm sitting here. I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting warm and snuggly. It's about to go down, boys. Chaos Nova he's saying this motherfucker. This motherfucker.
Shit.
But I kind of think that you're at that point where you're saying like the trans thing, it's like it's gay, but it's even more than gay. It's like super gay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, I mean, I want to say the slur, but I can't because it's not good for your channel, but I can say it because I used to be a pansexual, and I've already got the okay, because I was literally talking to one of my trans friends, and I was like, hey, if one of y'all bothers me, can I say the F slur? And they were like, oh yeah, we don't care about that. I was like, all right, cool. But this is the funny thing, and there's a real difference between a fake trans and a real trans, and you're probably going to be confused about what the fuck is that, man? So growing up, I always thought a trans was like a hermaphrodite or like an actual man, like the body of a man, the physical appearance of a man, but they have a vagina. They were born, like they were literally born that way. There was no surgery process. Like they were just literally born that way. And I have a friend that's like that. And the funny thing is they understand that because they have ovaries and all that stuff, but the funny thing is being that it's within a man's body, God had the humor of being all like, you can't reproduce, by the way. It was my fuck up that you were made this way, but you can't reproduce. Sorry. Like in both babies with the hermaphrodite, they can't reproduce either. Their sperm is completely sterile.
I'm going to preempt this clip.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Wrong one. Sorry, it's this one.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
No, I have.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Chaos Nova.
Hey, yo, I think I passed out at Speakeasies, fucking shit, and then I woke up to a fucking cat's prayer. What are we talking about right now?
Go to this format. Yep. Sorry, go ahead, gentlemen. Yep.
So there was a question earlier that was like, is God good, right? How can God be good when there's bad in the world? And you started going on some nonsensical explanation of like, well, because like how people gonna learn? And look, he preemptively played the clip, so I'm gonna try and be nice. All right, I'm gonna try and be nice. Okay.
The memes work, folks.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and be nice here, but my point here is that it's not God's creation of evil or bad things. The whole point, first of all, if you look at any Christian basis, the whole point is that we created the bad things, right? Our predecessors made choices. Those choices put us in the current situation that we are in. So whether or not God wants us to learn has nothing to do with it. And no offense, but the whole cat thing, man, why you always lying? Why you fucking lying?
Nah, that really happened.
Yo, I want video, fucking pictures, and I don't just mean the tuft of hair, okay? Like, what you grandma,
I'll have to
mama,
I have to see if I have pictures of the cat.
mama started preying on cat's liver, and cat got white tuft of hair. What you talking about, Willis?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I'll see if I have the old picture. I mean, I was a kid at the time, but sure.
Look, I've seen some miracles in my life, bro. Like the fact, like I've seen some things that I guess you get. Sorry, let me reiterate. I've seen some things that you could claim are miracles in my life, right? The fact I'm alive is one of them. I should have been dead a long time ago. I woke up from a 2.5 year overdose coma, or sorry, 2.5 week, not 2.5 years. That was way long. 2.5 week overdose coma. I woke up from that. I should have been dead. They were literally gonna pull the plug the day I woke up. That could be a miracle. I don't know. Is it? Maybe. Possibly. Right? But a cat getting his liver back or whatever the heck it was, I don't know. That I don't know. Just seems a little strange, right? I find it very unlikely, personally, that a all omnipotent being is going to be like, yes, your cat, bro. That's important. Let's save that feline. Let's save
I'm
it.
not saying like, no, I'm definitely not saying like he wanted to do it specifically for the cat, because like you would have to still say that, you know, God is everywhere, but
Yeah, God is everywhere for sure. For sure. Yeah.
it was just in the sense of what I experienced when I was a kid. Like it was literally my grandma praying, crying, and asking God to save this cat, and then like the next few days this cat's better, and I'm just like, what the fuck? That cat should have been
Hey yo, Terriac, you got that you got a clip of Sheldon singing Soft Kitty.
Gentlemen, you're supposed to stay on point, okay? Just reminds the prompt is being gay is sin, and we're talking about.
I'm sorry, bro. I just woke up, man.
He said the main one that stuck with him while he was sleeping was the cat praying. Like that's what he was saying.
Oh, that's what woke me up. Is
Yeah,
the
that's
cat?
what woke me up.
Yeah, but
Like, this
is gay being a sin? Hell yeah! Play the clip, Terriac. Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay? You are gay.
You are gay. You are a transgender. He is also openly a gay rights activist. I didn't call you. Oh, yeah, being gay is
gay or gay.
Gay's being hell yeah, that's a sin. How could it not be, bro? I mean, look what's going on in Canada right now. We got transgenders stabbing their own, trying to unalive their own children, and family members. We got Transformers, you know.
Yeah, but
shoot.
It's not just being gay, also lying to yourself.
Airing out schools. I mean, yeah, but in essence, it literally is being gay.
Also,
He is
like,
being gay.
one of the most egregious ones was cheating in the Winter Olympics as well. Like Canada's fucked.
Yeah, bro. I am egregiously disappointed in my own people. We got people dying in our streets, and we worried about a Furman there.
Folks, give him a round of applause for 1v1. But back to the show. Chaos, your mic's kind of getting fucky though.
Oh,
Like
sorry.
getting,
Is it getting stupid again? Oh, hold up.
It's fine now, but it sounded like it was kind of like a bit of interference, something like that was going on with it. But yeah, like in terms of this whole thing of like divine order, like what is a sin? I guess would probably be the first place to start, Chaos Nover.
What is a sin? I would say a sin would be classified as something that goes against natural order. Something that is So like for instance, murder, right? If you are going to murder somebody, that goes against natural order, right? Um, and it right. So if you are going to, lay with the same gender or same sex because they are the same thing, you're going against the natural order. That's just how it is. Also, I mean, like, think about it. You're creating a scenario where you can increase the rate of susceptibility to certain like pathogens, etc. Right? Like, we know, like, people who like to eat the booty are far more likely to receive things like listeriosis, etc., 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 etc. I could go on and go on about it. But. So, if you're going against natural order, I would say that is a sin. Being gay, all going against natural order. So, yes, it would be sinful.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more.
I think Chaos Nova just delivered all of us on panel with that, just like walked us through the whole things. But in terms of the aspect of like what is a sin though, Chaos Nova?
Yeah, like I said, a sin is going against anything that is natural order, right? If you are, for instance, like especially from a Christian view, God created the world in a certain way, right? So by going against his law, because like by definition, his law would be the natural order. So by going against that, you are sinning, right? You are creating a situation that is going against the very foundational laws of the universe, essentially, or laws of the world in this case. He was pretty clear and concise on what those laws were, and was pretty definite on what the consequences would be. So, yes.
Yeah, but like you're just saying that like sinning is going against the natural order, but like what is the natural order?
I was just about to ask that.
Well, like I just mentioned that his rule, like the very rules that he put into place, would technically be the natural order, at least from my understanding.
Hold on. You mind if I steal man real quick? So you're trying to say the natural order is what God created, the sins are what we created.
Sort of. But yes, I'm saying the sin is something that we created, yes, by our decisions. But what I'm trying to say is that in order to sin, you have to go against the natural order. If God is the creator of everything, then the very rules that he put into place for the world in and of itself is the natural order. So if he says gravity, that's a part of the natural order. Things go up, they must come down. That's a rule, that's a law, right? If he says you should not sleep with another man, that's a law. You need to procreate, that's a law, right? Like that's a rule. That's something that he has put into the foundation of existence, if that makes sense. I need like two more coffees before I can process at full speed. Okay. So
no, you're good. It makes sense. I just I always look at it in different theories, but to me it is sin because it's based on the word of God and going, like you said, natural law. But I felt like going against God's word in general would be sin. So sin would be anything going against God's word.
That is exactly what I just said.
Yeah, I mean that's
just different words. Different words.
I know. It's just I understood what you were trying to say. It's just Teriak was trying to get them more of the grasp of it. I mean, I guess he did understand, or he was trying to pry more out of you. But I was just trying to sum it up to see if that was enough.
Yeah, I want to get the meat out of the bone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in terms of like when we're talking about like it's God's law. Like, what are we pointing to that like how do we determine what is God's law?
Well, I mean, to like determine it, you'd have to read the scripture.
Yeah, the
Like it's quite obvious. You know, inherent, like there's an inherent thing to this, like inherent things to this, right? Like you know it's wrong to kill, right? Like when we're a kid, you know, it's like, take a look at somebody's violent child, right? Right. And you let's say you're another child, you're watching this violent child just strangle just strangle somebody's cat. Do you inherently know what that other kid is doing is wrong?
Sure.
yeah. I think you cut out.
Yeah, he's about to get MK Ultra, Ripperoni, Chaos Nova. Let us know when you're back. But like that's what I'm saying. Like, but even in that example that Chaos Nova is using, wait, you're back. Gone again.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hello? Okay. All I was just trying to say is that, like, if you were watching if you're a child watching another violent child, or not watching another child strangle a cat, do you know inherently inside that cat being strangled is wrong?
That the cat is wrong. How the fuck is the cat wrong in that situation?
Not the cat wrong. Oh god,
Motherfucker, you're getting choked wrong. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, that's you, not me.
No, you misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you inherently know? Do you inherently understand and comprehend that the cat getting strangled is wrong? Not the cat dying is not
Yes.
the cat is wrong. Okay. That's a
You said originally that do you know inherently that the strangled cat is wrong? And I'm like, wait, how's the strangled cat wrong? What the fuck? Where did that go to?
I don't think that if I said that I need a coffee. Damn. If I
But basically, to start it off with, not just humans, but mainly humans. When we see things die, we feel something about it, and like I've seen so many animals die, and I buried them because I feel something about it.
No, animals feel something about this. That's the crazy thing. Like not all, not like, or maybe all of them. I don't know, but we can see in, like, especially in primates, we can see that there is a remorsefulness towards it, right? Like towards death, and it's not just death, right? Like there's other actions that we understand are wrong, right? Like we know a child, like I don't want to get too in depth to this, but we know that when a child has been, no-no'd, right? Like we know that right away, their immediate response, most often than not, is to say like something has happened, right? Or to react in a negative response. That is an inherent reaction. They inherently know what is happening is wrong, right? So, and it's not just from pain or everything else. Like they know before anything even starts where this is going is wrong. Right? There's an inherent understanding of what is wrong. So I think beyond just reading scripture, this is where my point was trying to lead to, is like beyond just reading scripture, you could say that God's law is already inherently known within the very like concept of our consciousness. So like so when I say that that sin is going against the natural order and God's law is the natural order, when you know something is wrong, you're going against the natural order, right? So like, oh man, okay, hold on. I need to shut up for a couple seconds and make a coffee. Hold on, I'll be right back. I got an espresso machine and this shit squeals like a motherfucker. So I'm a mute for a minute. Y'all talk. Hold on.
I was about to say, I think animals do have a sort of moral grounding for the simple fact that a group of the same animal isn't going to go around killing all of the same of its species. Like it's like deers, they'll fight and they'll even fight and hurt each other. But if there's death among two deers, I guarantee that deer is going to, for at least a little bit, feel something after the battle other than just victory. And like they're just like And I feel like there's a certain moral code that would go with that. It wouldn't even go like with other animals to an extent. But I think it could, like how certain animals have like mutual bonds with each other, where like what is it? The cowbird feeds off the cow, and the cow allows it to get the flies and everything off of it and mites and stuff. So like, I just feel like there's a certain moral grounding for animals. But it's just smaller than humans' moral grounding. I think we have because of our understanding of things around us and our surroundings and the universe makes our moral grounding a little bit more complex and intricate, and it needs to be that way for us to keep that understanding. Because if our moral grounding was all over the place, then civilization would be impossible to thrive. It would just be one big, huge.
I wouldn't go down that route if I were you. I wouldn't go down that route because, like, you could already, like, any secularist or any liberal libtard could come up here and literally just be like, yeah, but like my moral grounding is way different than yours, right? Like, the whole point. If you take a look.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
We don't care. He says, spin that wheel.
Yeah.
All right, next topic is, you can head spears off with this one. Chaos Nova, do all religions lead to the same God?
No. All religions do not lead to the same God. As a matter of fact, I would state that many religions have been created in opposition to that. Muslims.
Like I was telling you about the other, like when you were saying does God exist, and I was saying how like even if no religion was right, I still believe there is a God, creator of everything and nothing, that created the universe. There has to be, and I feel like do all religions lead to the same God? I feel like no, for the simple fact that a majority of religions probably are worshiping absolutely nothing, in a sense. And it's kind of weird to say that for somebody to be all like, oh, so you're basically saying Christianity is correct. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's the most accurate. And
that's correct.
I would say, yeah, I mean, to me it's more correct because that's what I'm leaning more towards and reading up towards more about. It just has more evidence that.
Yeah, but like, why you gotta say it like a liberal apologist or something, right? I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
I used to be a communist.
You used to be a communist?
Yeah, I used to be a communist. I used to be a leftist.
Holy crow. Got Gestapo over here. I'm just
I was mainly like that in high school because I went to like an all hick school, and in the debate class, like everybody agreed with you. So it's like there's like no way to debate. So it's like, you know what?
So you were a leftist due to being an oppositionist? You just wanted opposition?
You have to learn about a lot of the leftist and communist ideology to realize why you wouldn't want to be a part of it. And I think that's like a really
fair enough, but I would never state that I was a communist. I was definitely way more liberal growing up, especially in high school, but I was never a communist. But anyways, to get to the point here. Yeah.
No, I literally believe like there should be only one manufacturing company for everything. I wore gold clothes. I had a dinosaur phone, if not a phone at all, when I went to high school. Like I was like full on fledged communist, but
wild. Yeah, no, I would say no, all religions do not lead to the same God. I would say that people do inherently already have the gospel in them, whether they've read it or not. However, I would not say all religions lead to the same God. You can't have that. It doesn't make any sense. I would argue that, for instance, ancient Egyptian and ancient Mesopotamian, where they worshipped the sun, they're actually worshiping Lucifer. I would argue that. I would argue that Muslims are worshiping a devil and a pedophile. Is there a PDF file? Man, I really gotta get used to saying things in terms of service here. And I would argue that Mormons are Mormons are even along the same lines. Spin it.
Spin it.
Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
Spin this fucking wheel, says
The
William.
only thing Mormons have are all the hot women. A lot of hot women.
Yeah, man, to the whole crazy scale, it's a legit scale. Gentlemen, do we get reincarnated?
I don't know. You can reincarnate these nuts. I'm just kidding. I don't think so. No,
That would
I
still
see no
fall in the
evidence for it.
category. That would fall in the category of is there an afterlife? Because reincarnation would be a form of after your life.
Reincarnation, from my understanding, is more of like a Buddhist ideology. I don't actually see much evidence. I don't see any evidence for it whatsoever, as a matter of fact, besides, like, I guess, like, the revival of Jesus. And even then, I would doubt that would be reincarnation. But I see nothing historically to state that reincarnation could be real. I see nothing scientifically to support it. And I see nothing religiously to support it.
Shut up, bitch!
William says, shut the fuck up and spin the wheel again.
I think
Yo, these clips are rude and I love it.
coming back and defeating death would be a completely different thing, yeah.
Did the
Did
universe
the universe need a creator?
Yes.
Yeah? What the fuck?
If there's no intelligent design, then it would all look like it was like drawn by Kieran after like drinking 22-6 bottles.
Because, and not just that, if there wasn't, and it just simply all was just because, like I was saying earlier, then there'd be absolutely no point other than just to survive the best you can. That would literally be it. And that's
But
no
why?
guidance. That's no guidance for fucking humanity.
I don't know. I don't think I track that. I don't think that tracks there. Cause like, to be honest, bro, where I'm living right now, we just trying to survive the best we can right now. Okay, all right. They're taking our guns. They're taking our freedom of speech. They're making it impossible to live. We just trying to live over here, and it's hard. Okay.
Yeah, I do get what you mean, but like I still feel like even in the certain worst circumstances that we have in modern day society, I feel like people are still able to live in comparison to truly surviving. Now, I grew up poor, so I know a certain sense of like having to survive versus just living. But like I also feel like.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you right now, like, if you come to Edmonton, or you go to Winnipeg, and you go take a look in the streets, bro, people are literally just trying to survive. Like literally, survival of the fittest is real out here. Like we've turned into Detroit after all the factories shut down. I don't know what else to say. Like it is. It's getting like crazy, like nuts. I be seeing people in minus 50 degrees Celsius, okay? In no shoes, no socks, out in the middle of the snow, up at a safe injection site, begging people for money so they could get some methadone. Like,
And speaking about banging for people for methadone, we need to bang you guys with a grip break to get $8.
Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one, no chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, spark. sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness. Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the Wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. Wheel of madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of Step right up, spin the wheel, see what's next. Sneaky questions flying fast. No one knows which topic will last. One-on-one or chaos in the room. Every spin brings a brand new boom. madness, let it roll. Twist and turn, take control. Mind on fire, sparks ignite. Every debate's a crazy fight. Who's ready? Who's brave? The wheel decides what you'll face. Strap in! Here it comes! Welcome to the wheel of madness. Step right up.
Ah, fuck, I didn't get there in time. But William says we'll be nice and we'll be ended. But like I said, we're based at the last 5 minutes. I don't think we're going to get the goal. But we never know. We never know. There could be a hero in the last 5 minutes, William. I won't shut it down quite yet. But like I said, even if we could just end with the 100, you know what I'm saying? To end on a 97, you know what I'm saying? 97's kind of a gay number, you know? We've got re-examination chat. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up, re-examination? I'm not gone. I'm here. I just woke up, though. I need another coffee. I downed that coffee, man. Like, I fucking downed it. Bro, what a way to...
Espresso?
Yeah, I get my case. So, like, story behind this. I go back home to my hometown. I'm there, and my mom has had like these like crazy espresso machines for like years now, and I've always wanted one. And my parents, being benevolent as they are, I'm like looking at it because my stepdad got her a new one, and I'm looking at the old one, and I'm like, yo, you guys selling this? And they're like, yeah. I was like, well, how much do you think you're selling it for? They start telling me, and I'm like, okay, I can send you the money in like, X amount of time. And then my stepdad got mad at me and he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can send me the money? Hell no, just fucking take it. And I was like, are you serious right now? He's like, yeah, what do you mean pay for it? You're not paying for this, just fucking take it. I was like, okay, sweet. So I've been making espressos nonstop. I have never gone back. It's dope, but yeah. Fuck, man, what a way to wake up, though, to a cat's prayer, bro. I thought I was dreaming. I literally thought I was still dreaming, bro. Like, I didn't even realize I passed out, and I wake up, I guess we got raided into your channel, and I wake up.
Madness, baby.
I wake up, and it's about a cat's prayer. Yo, what? Oh, shit. That was great. Oh man, I gotta admit though, like I kind of enjoy the song because like it says my name a lot of times in that song, you know. Well, not a lot of times.
True.
But, yeah.
But as William was saying as well, it's about 3 minutes at the moment. It's a minute, less than 2 minutes. It's 2 minute warning, I guess you could call it. But now that we're winding down Chaos Nova, is there anything, I guess, you could, any shout outs you want to give? Any like big debates coming up you want to give a shout out to, or anything you're doing with a YouTube channel, anything like that? Any socials?
I mean, like, I'm honestly about to like restart all my social medias, create a new more professional vibe. I'm getting into the financial market. I'm getting certified and all that. So if you guys want to check me out at Alec Goodall at Facebook, there's going to be a new Facebook and a new Instagram, new X, all that coming up real soon. So if you guys want to get at me, if you're from Canada, let me know. I'm not certified in any other country. I cannot advise you in any other country. So don't ask me for advice in that place. And don't ask me for advice on YouTube. I will not do that. Yeah, you want to holler at me at that? Please do. Other than that, shout out to Teriak because guy's got a pretty good channel. He's a pretty decent dude. So check his shit out. Support.
Appreciate you kindly. Thank you very kindly, sir. Well, folks, other than that, like I was saying, because we didn't get to the 100, I guess I have to. Let's see, I gotta find the video. We do have to end on this. This is one of the things that's like when we don't hit it, we gotta call it out. We gotta hold ourselves accountable. If I can only find the video. Yeah, here we go. So we have the outro video. It's not a damn good show we're ending on, but like I said, it's still a meme we're ending on, folks. Okay. We got to 97, which is still good. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, greatly appreciate it, boys. But for the memes, we got to end on this. I'll see you all tomorrow, folks. Gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, I know we had a bit of conflict before. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I mean 100% that you're all a bunch of pussies. I mean, you suck my balls if you think you're getting any respect out of me, you scums.